Obama.
So chat, speaking of experts in the Israeli-Palestine conflict, Ethan Klein was corrected very seriously by the Do Not Worry Pod, a podcast done by some Lebanese content creators in Lebanon.
Hasan glazing up Hasan Nasrallah. He doesn't deserve me saying his real name fully. He doesn't have.
حسن نصر الله فشل على رقبتك يا اخو موتك انت ومرتك صهيونيه the leader of a fucking resistance force that fucking fought you guys single-handedly, you motherfucking genocidal fucks.
You know.
Narshallah. Yeah, Hassan was glazing him up. Sure, man. By like describing the nature of his life. Like, what? So, on the same track, I figured we'd do a little bit of a deep dive, a DD, double D situation, watching back-to-back Ethan Klein's Crash Out, specifically because about a month ago, this whole Twitch drama started, Adpocalypse, he got a bunch of creators banned for no reason, and we're a month out from all this happening, and the results are zip. The creators have been unbanned. He's lost a bunch of very loyal fans that are now very angry at him for being so aggressive, mean, and ignorant, and just completely on the wrong side of this argument every time he continually inserts himself into it. What if you get banned, though? What is he going to ban me for? Is it anti-Semitic to listen to his own words? I mean, it depends on how far back you go. No, I mean, these are short little videos. This is a month ago. This is the first one, and we're going to watch all of them, including Hassan Piker is a weaselly little liar. Like, what is this, man? You're friends with this person, and you're making videos about them like this? That's so beyond the pale to me. But this is the first one, and we'll see the decline happen in real time.
Hello, everybody. It's Ethan Klein from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening. My kids just went to sleep, and I opened Reddit to browse my community, who I love so well. And at the top of the subreddit is this very lovely clip. And
the guy who cares a lot about anti-Semitism, by the way. Guy who cares a lot about anti-Semitism.
Titled, Just a Casual Panel Provided by Twitch at their con, broadcasted on their official channel. What is it? Well, it's
Why is he so close to the camera? What do you mean? Come on, guys. I'm canceling Twitch today.
Panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends.
Slay.
In which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab,
closer,
and bottom is loves Sabra.
Good is Arab. Okay, it's just a reductive way to phrase this whole thing. A little dishonest, but whatever.
Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad.
It's just dumb. Like, it's dumb for him to assert that the reason they're shitting on Sabra hummus is that it's kosher. That has nothing to do with anything. He just brought it up for no reason. It's Israeli made, which is why it's under boycott, because the Israeli government, under which these businesses operate, is evil. That's how boycotting has always worked with BDS. The whole thing is that Sabra is like the worst brand of hummus available. Yes. And he has said this before in his own words on his podcast, I believe, back in the day. I'm pretty sure there's an old clip of him being like, yeah, I hate that stuff. But it wasn't anti-Semitic then either. And it's not anti-Semitic now. Him personalizing criticism of hummus as criticism of Israel and ergo criticism of Jewish people is mental gymnastics that are incomprehensible.
I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. And what's crazy is that I've been suspecting that
he's doing criticism of Israel equals prejudice. No, he's doing criticism of hummus equals criticism of Israel equals prejudice. Because they're not even talking about Israel. They're talking about hummus. Bibi's literally a Holocaust revisionist. Yeah, and I've said that for a long time. Baby Netanyahu is a Holocaust revisionist. He's a demon. He's an awful person. Indefensible. He's a genocider.
Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. Obviously, it started with Hassan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terror.
He's just being racist. He's just being racist. This is racism. Terrorists? When this video was made, they were not on the terrorist watch list. They are now because of the blockade of the Red Sea. Joe Biden put them back on the terrorist watch list. To even engage in that conversation requires an understanding of what it means to be called a terrorist by the American government. Like, do you know what that means? No. You're just throwing it out there because you see Muslims with guns. Just showing unfettered propaganda. It's a music video. It's literally a song. Ethan Klein is like, oh, this is a terrorist video. We don't use this same like bigoted, reactionary, like racist, just flailing. We don't do this for anything other than Muslims with guns. We see a Muslim with a gun in Yemen and we're like, oh, that's a terrorist. And what that means is he's not thinking about what it even means to call someone a terrorist. The kind of dehumanization that comes with. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. This is a music video that they made as a form of resistance against the Saudi genocide. And Ethan Klein is like, no, this is terrorist. This is anti-Semitic. Remember when Ela Klein is talking about, a long time ago, she talked about her service in the IDF, and she talked about going into Ramallah. Yeah, it's in the central West Bank, and she called it a terrorism city, or a terrorist city. She said, I went into a terrorist city and arrested somebody, and it's just a regular city. That's the point of the label of terrorist. So you don't have to even think that the fact that she arrested someone was abducting and removing forcibly a human being from their home. What was that person's name? Are they still alive? Are they in one of the archipelago distribution of Israeli torture prisons to this day? I don't know. Does Hila? She did that. It helps you feel good about what you're doing when you call them the bad guys and then stop thinking from there.
Terrorist propaganda on his channel.
Terrorist propaganda.
But now, they've unbanned Sneeko.
Down with the Yahood!
They rebanned him.
Down with the Yahood!
And they've just unbanned Fresh and Fit.
They
this
rebanned
week.
him too.
These are two of the most prolific Jew-hating.
It's really funny that he talked about this as like a throwaway just so he could talk about Hasan again later, because they immediately banned them. Sneeko jump scare, I know, She-Hulk is my favorite movie. I hate the cadence he's been talking with the past bit. He's so condescending. It's really weird. Anyway.
Creators on the entire internet. And these are the two they've targeted to bring back. Now, taking this on...
They didn't... That's not... He's just misrepresenting what happened. Their bans expired. They were banned for a period of time, and then their bans relapsed. They were allowed onto the platform for like a day or a week or something. They didn't even have the chance to stream on the platform before they were banned again. Do you think Ethan believes that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were terrorist attacks too? He probably thinks they're justified, but most Americans do. Your dad probably does. Your dad definitely does.
An account. Here's an officially sanctioned event at TwitchCon. Let's take a look at it and see what exactly is Twitch endorsing.
He already talked about this.
It's the perfect transition to our first person.
Why is he talking about it again?
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder where they're going to put Hasan.
He talks about literal Nazi Sneeko, literal Nazi Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, people who have actively denied the Holocaust, and then he's like, well, here's the next problem. They're talking shit about hummus that I don't even like, but it's from a country that I also don't like. I wonder what his problem really is. How do you know my dad so well? I know the American propaganda. That's what I know.
I'm going to guess they're going to put him in Arab.
Hasan is Turkish. But he's a brother.
Yeah, what? I'm going to guess okay, Turks are technically not Arab. That is true. They're Turkic. It is an entirely unique distinction.
Yeah.
But he was raised Muslim.
So
Obviously, he's Arab coded.
Yeah, I think he'd be on the Arab coded.
I mean, I would put him in Arab, to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Austin, let's go down the line.
That's the one you want. Implying that, like, what is he implying with that?
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's Arab. Lebanese. Like,
Yeah.
He's Lebanese. What do you mean? You can't do that. Who even was that?
Austin, let's go down the line.
Okay, Austin's not full Lebanese. Austin is only like a quarter Lebanese. But that's still funny. He is Lebanese, though. You
Good
can't
job.
do that.
Good job, Austin.
The next person is one of my favorite people.
This is so sad. He's just like watching. He's like Squidward watching from the window meme.
Fine.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. That's
Oh, Jewish.
That's so insane to imply that that's what they're saying. I cannot believe he said that. That's slander, dude. You can't, like, that is so not what the conversation even is. And to accuse someone of that is so, like, unserious. I mean, it's a serious accusation, but it's unserious in the sense where it's like, that's not what's happening here, and no one else believes you. Yeah, they're booing you because you're Jewish. No, they're booing you because you've attacked Frogan multiple times with your, like, exponentially larger platform. That's why he's even on here to begin with, because he's made himself Frogan's personal enemy for some reason. One of, if not the only hijabi streamer in, like, popular streamer circles. I don't know of any other hijabi streamer, but for some reason, Ethan Klein has felt the need multiple times to attack her on his social media and on his stream. This is anti-Semitism. Criticizing hummus is anti-Semitism, but we can't even look for a second at what Ethan Klein is doing like that's racist. No, certainly not. No, he voted for Kamala Harris, guys. He's not racist. What do you mean? She is the only one on this stage that he has repeatedly and specifically targeted. He also mixed up in Denims and Frogan twice. He can't tell Arab people apart. Okay, that's insane. He's just stupid at that point.
Where's the, you guys are missing a category for Zionist.
Yeah, booing Ben Shapiro is because he's Jewish. Anytime anyone ever boos Ben Shapiro, that's why? Did Ethan Klein put this edit in? What
That
is
was
it?
a joke. That was just a joke in my...
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it. And
Was that anti-Semitism? Let me listen to that. Hang on.
Good one.
Jewish.
See, the only one saying this here is Ethan, who has said some pretty heinous things about Orthodox Jews before. Heinous, disgusting things.
Where's the, you guys are missing a category for Zionist. That was a joke. That was just a joke.
Yeah, that doesn't mean Jew. Yeah, no, that's like calling you a Republican. That's literally like saying we're missing a category, Trump supporter, because you're a racist piece of shit. That's not anti-Semitic.
And may I point out here, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. Do you know that there is an Arab to Jew tier list happening in front of your sponsor?
When you put two white guys on the top and then another white guy on the bottom, it's an Arab to Jew tier. We're on the third person, are we not? You can't say that because the two people on the Arab tier aren't even Arab completely. Austin is a quarter Lebanese and Hassan is Turkish.
That there is an Arab to Jew tier list happening in front of your sponsor. And
Chevron, do you guys know? Chevron, call Asmongold. Chevron. Yeah, no, we're on the third goddamn person. This is not an Arab tier list because nobody in the Arab tier is Arab in the way that he is speaking. Arab doesn't mean Arab on this tier list. What do you mean? They put Mike from PA in that same tier as well. They put Mike from PA right next to Ethan Klein. To fuck with him. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a fun joke. Does Ethan Klein not know anything about jokes? No, he doesn't. You don't get it. Hassan needs to be Arab for Ethan to keep calling him a terrorist. Yeah, I wonder. It's almost like that word has meaning beyond, just saying it to excuse the horrible crimes your wife has committed. Sorry. I don't like bringing that up, but it just makes me feel gross. Every time I hear the word terrorist, I'm like, yeah, she called Ramallah a terrorist city and said she arrested a terrorist and said it was fun. You're like, you kidnapped a human being. I don't care. I mean, regardless of what they did, you did that.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it. And may I point out here, Chevron, Capcom,
doing anti-Semitism by just saying the word Zionist
in front of your sponsor. And you guys were so kind to sitting right in front of them. Chevron, Samsung, and Capcom. By the way, a bit of irony. I love that they're boycotting hummus and sitting in front of a Chevron logo. Like,
I mean, I guess that's the only criticism that makes sense because Chevron is also a boycott target because they support Israel. And, they're also an evil corporation. But, like, if anything, Chevron is allowing them on their own dime. Chevron paid for that stage. And they're able to speak to anti-Zionism with Chevron's platform. I think that's valid. I don't really care. I'm not picking and choosing. That's the language of liberals and meanderers and fascists who want to silence people. I think it's valid to speak where you can. I don't think the fact that Chevron sponsored TwitchCon, something that is not democratic or anything. He is making a troll face. You're right. I'm getting trolled right now. But that's not like, no one chose Chevron. Everyone was making fun of the fact that Chevron sponsored TwitchCon. I was there. I went to TwitchCon. I made fun of it. I was like, I love oil and gas. Here we are. This is stupid. Like, what? You think we don't know that Chevron's a bad corporation, Ethan Klein?
Yeah, I wonder which one's doing more damage. Yeah. Okay. We know Twitch.
Yeah, Israel or Chevron? You sure you want to play that game? Ethan Klein's opinion on capitalism. I also found that to be very disgusting. And something that really turned me off from Ethan Klein in general was his defense of his company being a capitalist organization and like owning his workers that work for him every day.
Which is like plays favorites with everything. If they were really serious about anti-Semitism, Sneeko and Fresh and Fit would never have been brought back to.
They weren't. They were banned. So they must be serious about anti-Semitism then. Case closed, Your Honor. Or wait, is he going to actually advocate for them to kill all the people that did that tier list?
Platform. It's just a no-brainer, right? But they were.
Yeah, no brainer. They did it. Congrats. You got what you wanted, and somehow you end up still bitching for a month.
Welcome back with open arms, and I mean their whole platform.
That's not even what happened. He's such a liar. Why is he such a liar? And how did he just forget he said all of this? Because he's just moved on to new and different things to bitch about ever since. No, like, I'm glad they finally banned those guys. Maybe in one of the next videos, but I mean, God.
It's been anti-Semitism. I'm not even kidding. That's literally all they talk about. I don't know what to say.
Wait, what is all they talk about?
I've been put in this position.
Yeah, the Nazis talk about anti-Semitism. Yeah, of course. That's why they're banned. It just feels like this video was an excuse to talk about the panel. I don't think he actually cares about Sneeko because he didn't show a single sneaky clip of Sneeko's clips of anti-Semitism, and there's droves of them. He didn't point out any of Myron Gaines' anti-Semitism. He decided to watch this panel and then be like, guys, oh my God, they're unbanning the Nazis. They're welcoming them with open arms. No, they're not. They banned the Nazis. So what are you clutching your head about? This tier list. But that's not how you're closing the video because you don't think it sounds like a strong enough argument, because it doesn't, and you know it's stupid. This is mental gymnastics at work. That's why his head hurts bouncing around in there.
Position where like I watch this clip and I'm like, what the fuck am I actually watching? This is mad. I need to say something. Chevron, Samsung, and Capcom.
Oh no, never mind. It's not about Sneeko.
You know, I know Capcom put in a Shmuley the Rabbi in the next Street Fighter game.
Rabbi Shmuley? What is he talking about?
Who attacks with the dreidels and throws foreskin. So they are very...
Twitch has a major problem of anti-Semitism. I'm going to be a super nasty anti-Semitic weirdo really quick, but it's fine because I'm doing it. What kind of standard does that even set for the reactionary liberals that watch your content and obsessively attack Hasan because you do it too? They're going to make weird, creepy, gross Jewish jokes the same way you are, and guess what? They're not going to be Jewish, like Destiny does. He literally does that already. Like, he's literally giving a pass to actual anti-Semites that watch him and brigade his community on Reddit. He's giving them a pass. He is, by doing this, while attacking Muslim creators for standing up for their actual human rights and human rights of people that look like them. Unbelievable. Unforgivable.
Very in touch with the Jewish identity.
Yeah, so are you, man. Totally. You're so in touch. What a fucking... Get out of your basement, man. Seriously.
We're going to have to ask them.
Forkin.
That's it. Enjoy the...
Rabbi Shmuley is not a good example. I mean, he's like a reactionary fascist settler. I don't know what that would even represent of anything. And it's not comparable to anything we saw apart from Sneeko and Myron Gaines. Like, that's the level that Rabbi Shmuley is at. Just like pro-Israel instead of anti-Israel. And if you talked to Sneeko, if a Zionist talked to Sneeko enough, he would be pro-Israel. Because Sneeko isn't anti-ethno-state. All you have to do is be like, hey, Sneeko, wouldn't you want all the Jewish people to go somewhere else? And he'll be like, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Because you want to know how I know that? That's how every single Christian anti-Semite, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or even Donald John President, that's how they act. That's how they see it. They want all the Jewish people to be gone from America so they can have their white Christian nationalist ethno-state and they can go do their stuff over there in the desert. And then, you know, the evangelicals believe that will trigger the rapture and the second coming of Christ. That's what the American evangelical right believes. God, I love this goddamn country. Donald
I know
Jones
there's going to be
president.
lots of obfuscating and excuses for this video. And
Does he think he's like holding people accountable? What did he even do here? Other than just say like calling him a Zionist is anti-Semitic and then whine about stuff that Twitch immediately on their own handled.
hello once again, my friends.
So moving on to the next in this series of crash outs. I won't let Hasan Piker lie about me to his audience. It's getting worse. He's getting more and more petty and vindictive with each video.
An emergency Ethan Klein video is in order.
Emergency.
Been talking a lot about my former co-host Hasan Piker and leveling
Just call
some
him.
pretty serious criticism against him. I knew that
Like,
he
talk to
wasn't
him like an adult. You are a father. What's next, man? My kid won't take potty training good. Canceled on YouTube. Made a video, 200K views about it. And Hasan never lied. And Hasan was very kind to him. And Hasan was very patient with how reactionary and how antagonistic Ethan has been. He really is giving divorced and bitter right now. That's the thing. He is at the best point of his life. He only has down to go. He should be enjoying his family. They are safe. They're with him. He has a ton of money, more money than he ever had any right to gain in his life, given that he's a college dropout like me. Like, you're not even divorced yet and you're like this. You got a long way to go, and I hope you get better. Imagine his kids growing up and having to see this. He's mentioned this because obviously a lot of people are like trying to shake him into reality by saying that, but he has defended it and will screenshot posts saying that and be like, my kids will be proud that I'm defending them against anti-Semitism in the world. And it's so clearly not about that. It is so clearly not about that at all. And to even say that his kids are going to be proud of him one day is just self-serving. And you can tell that that's probably how he sleeps at night, you know? Yeah, they're going to be proud to see all the racism compilations too. In the words of Mike Tyson, we have no legacy. We're dust.
wasn't going to take it well.
We're
and
nothing.
Wasn't going to respond to any of the points made.
And points made on what, by the way? What the fuck points did he make in that video?
Basically, it's turned out that I've been right about that. There's one clip though that I just saw on our subreddit that's especially kind of nefarious.
He's getting all of these sources nefarious. He's getting all of these sources from Reddit. His actual Reddit is being brigaded by other communities, and it's so frustrating that he, I guess, doesn't care because he has to know. He has to actually know. Seems to be doing bad things because he can't see the world from any view but his own. He fundamentally can't understand why people hate him, and I think it stresses him out. Yeah, he's got horse blinders on, but he's addicted to having them on because I think they make him feel good. I think he likes it. He likes having tunnel vision because it keeps him comfortable compared to having to face the real world. And when you pile on the level of cognitive dissonance and it gets denser and denser and denser, it becomes more intimidating to overturn and harder to break out of that cycle. That's what's so upsetting about this spiral. He's doing conspiracy theories to himself.
Type of character assassination and propaganda,
dude,
that I think is really important to call out the minute.
I'm sorry. Did he say Hasan did character assassination to him? Dude, Hasan has never done that to anybody. He doesn't look like he slept. He does have young kids, but he's also like filming these videos after he puts his kids to bed, or at least the last one was. It's the basement, so who knows?
It happens to get ahead of it. This is also would be
I don't know. His exposure is too high.
Especially good for fans of Hasan's, who's been listening to the podcast to help drive home some of the points that I've been making. So here it is.
I feel so bad for Hasan.
What's crazy is
You could tell this makes him feel awful too.
Call him out. Nobody. They've all been banned.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's just screeching, man. He's literally doing like Pepe Sylvia, doing like, they're all banned. Look at all this, like, it's all connected, drawn red strings and shit. How old is he? Ethan is like 33, 34. Hasan's around the same age. He's 33, I think. Let's watch him do character assassination.
Yeah, Destiny should be unbanned so we can call me out is a crazy take.
I said there's no dissenting voices, and he said Destiny should be unbanned is a crazy take.
Because your community is being brigaded by Destiny. There's only a handful of people who are banned who hate Hasan that you could be talking about. We know you're not talking about Sneeko. Who are you talking about? You're talking about somebody. This is literally guy caught in the act. I don't believe in like micro expressions, but I mean, look, people do when they're caught in a lie. Sometimes they give off some pretty obvious signs. That's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant. He goes on Destiny subreddits all the time. They're coming to him. That's the problem. And he has to know this. They're brigading his subreddit because this is a community that is extremely on Reddit. They're only on Reddit. Not only, but they're primarily on Reddit. And they brigade these subreddits of other content creators, except they're doing it in allyship with Ethan against Hasan. And I think he enjoys it. I think he does. I think he feels like he has a coalition of people that genuinely care about him and agree with him. But it is a sea of trolls, and it's a paper house. Like you're gonna build this insulation around yourself, and it's gonna collapse. This is not safe. This is not a support network. You're just getting talking points directly from Destiny's mods on his Discord. People literally caught that in real time. He's getting farmed. Yeah, he's getting farmed and used. And eventually they're just going to drop off, and he won't have them or the people that he's scared away. And then maybe then he'll get divorced and lose the kids, and who knows what happens then. I guess he'll turn into Alex Jones or something. He'll just go full right wing.
At what point did I say that? He's drilling into his audience brain already, trying to draw this association between Destiny, knowing that his fan base hates Destiny.
Maybe he's just oblivious to his subreddit being brigaded, but there's evidence of it. We can see it. It happens, and it's always the same talking points, and it's always the same like rhetoric or the same clips over and over again. And again, he's complaining that Hasan didn't address any of the points in his videos or in his last video, but he also didn't make any points. So what does he want Hasan to say? I don't know. Israel is not bad. Yoav Galan is a good guy. That's, I guess, what he wants. He did apologize for that, I believe, but
to poison the well against me. There has been no... I've mentioned Destiny on my channel over the last 10 years, maybe once.
Mentions on your channel is not it. It's about how and where you're getting your talking points. It's beyond the aesthetic that Ethan can't think past, I believe.
I'll be honest, like who would call me out? Like right-wing shitheads? Like, what do you mean?
Well, I'm not a right-wing shithead. I'm a liberal, progressive, who basically had some criticism for some of the stuff you've been...
What is he progressive on? Does he even believe in Medicare for all anymore, or is that like the only thing? He's a PEP. He's progressive except Palestine because he's defending Israel often. I'm not a right-wing shithead. I'm a liberal. He didn't like the way that sounded, so he added progressive at the end. He's also a self-admitted capitalist, so you can't really be progressive in America with that context. You're just a liberal.
But mostly agrees with everything you believe in. Not everybody that disagrees with you is a right-wing shithead.
But the people that do disagree with him on Israel are pretty consistently. But also, like, again, it's not talking about disagreement. It's about calling him out in a video. You call his phone, asshole. Like, what is your problem? You have his number. You are, at one point, you were his friend. Call him out. I don't get it. And no, Hasan did not call him a right-wing shithead. He just said right-wing shitheads are often the people who call me out. So, like, what do you want? Yeah, I'm not a right-winger. I just am bashing leftists. But no, he mentioned Sneeko, even though he didn't really care about him coming back, or he didn't bother to show any clips of his anti-Semitism. He didn't need to prove that Sneeko was anti-Semitic. I'm not saying that, but I mean, good God. There's a disparity of what he cares about. There is.
That's part of the issue that we're having.
You probably blocked him like an angry white dad. I mean, he is an angry white dad. Like, what? And maybe you're right, he blocked his number, but blocking his number and making a video about him, oh my God, I just don't understand. Grow up. Just talk to him. How is this something that you hold so seriously in your heart? You truly believe this, but you can't even have a conversation with a human being about it. You have to make a video. It is so bizarre to me. You can't stand 10 toes on the ground and look Hasan in the eye and tell him any of this? Really? You're that much of a pussy? You have to do it on your alt channel? Like, what is this? I just don't understand.
This is, once again, he's trying to put me in the bucket with right-wing shitheads.
Not only that, but I do get fucking yelled at all the time. Who do you want? Like,
yeah, Hasan is the only guy who gets yelled at from every possible direction. Fox News is calling him out. Random small leftists in the chat are calling him out. Leftists on Twitter are calling him out. You know, TikTokers are calling him out. He is the guy that gets called out. Everybody knows someone who's like, oh, Hasan's weird, right? And just doesn't know because they've been propagandized against the biggest progressive streamer on Twitch. I wonder how that happens. That's weird. If you hate Hasan, you're stupid. I mean, yeah, you're either stupid or you're addicted to Reddit. There's like genuinely content creators that are fucking sex offenders and pedophiles. And you hate this guy? This is the guy you care about? This is your least favorite content creator? Huh? Really? I just don't get even caring about it that much. You either like him or you don't watch him. Hating him? What a waste of time. Read a book. He's a normal guy. Yeah, you can not like his content. You can not like watching Twitch streams or react content or find his voice annoying, whatever. But like using that as an extrapolation against his politics and trying to like be like he's a bad person or is nefarious, like that just feels like projection and ignorance. And like you're small-minded. Broaden your horizons a little bit. Take a deep breath. Think about the world. It's a big place. Who you like and who you dislike can reveal a lot about your priorities. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And what Hasan does is important. I mean, he interviewed Rashida Tlaib. Like, that was great.
Fucking weirdo Nazi.
Yeah, he makes a large positive impact. He's raised millions of dollars with his community for Palestine and Ukraine and abortion legislation or abortion rights and abortion access.
Who?
Once again, implying that I want Nazis on the platform. Literally all I said is that there's no dissenting voices on Twitch, and he's building a fantasy world in which I'm a right-wing shithead that wants Nazis on the platform.
He never said that. He's so sensitive, dude. He's like, he's talking about me and he's attacking me when he's really doing neither. He's like just bouncing off of the quote that you said and trying to understand your point. But like, what else do you mean? You want rad libs on Twitch to start calling out Hasan's anti-Semitism? Do you know how quickly that rad lib will turn on you and suddenly somehow become a right-winger? Look at Destiny. That proximity ideologically from liberal to right-wing is too close to invite liberals into your space on the principle of they'll call out Hasan. That's not how you ally with people. That's how you get your selfish kinks met, I guess.
Criticize him.
There's only one guy I think he means, and that's Destiny, which is crazy.
It is honestly pretty severe the way that he draws everything back to Destiny. I don't know him. I've never talked about him on the channel.
That's such a shitty excuse, and it's deliberate. It's on purpose. It's worded very carefully. I've never talked about him on the channel. That's also a lie. Even if it's not a lie, it's a bad excuse because he's talking about where you're getting your talking points from. He's talking about the guy who calls him out the most. You want to talk about people who call him out? That's the guy who does it all the time for a living, really, if you really want to get into it. Paying his alimony and child support, talking about Hasan.
I don't know what's going on with this Destiny thing. The only explanation I can have is that he thinks that it's just an easy way for him to make me look bad to his community.
Nobody. There is not a single dissenting voice.
First of all, yes, there is, you motherfucker. And also just look up Hasan Bad and you'll get a flood of dog shit, bottom of the barrel, baby's first YouTube video content. What do you mean there's no dissenting voice? That is so insane. There is. Has he ever Googled it? Has he ever figured it out? Because there's a lot.
Is fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic.
Anti-American.
Bro, I can't believe this man went from dunking on Steven Crowder to saying Steven Crowder ass shit. He's anti-American, radical anti-American.
Now, instead of actually addressing a single point, he stops it before he gets there. He conjures the image of Steven Crowder, who's got nothing to do with this conversation.
He's living inside of you and breathing through your lungs and speaking through your voice. The specter of Steven Crowder. I mean, you are literally saying that, though. You are. You're saying the same things he does.
And he says, how did you go from dunking on Steven Crowder to being Steven Crowder? Once again,
Steven Crowder's a huge fan of Israel, by the way. Definitely not related, but huge fan. Big fan. Anyway, saying that Hasan is anti-American is literally a Steven Crowder talking point. How are you trying to like refute that? It is a Steven Crowder talking point. Anti-American. America is bad. That was literally, it used to be a criticism from Vosh, that fucking weirdo, towards Hasan. Was like, oh, he always says America bad. It's like, yeah, what the fuck? Do you ever think that it's good? You dipshit? You creep? America is bad. Pro-American rhetoric is violent, is evil. Have you ever heard of what we've ever done? It's just not a criticism. It really isn't. It's just like an American exceptionalist lash out just to throw a sucker punch in there. You're anti-American and anti-Semitic. I will always happily say America bad. Like, what is America good at? America good in what way? Pointing out that the United States is an imperialist colonizer state is not anti-American. It's like an objective fact. Yeah, that's the other part of the equation, right? Where it's like Hasan doesn't Like, yeah, he's anti-American if you ask him personally, but his analysis is materialist. His analysis is just what is going on. And you can't be like, reality is anti-Semitic and anti-American. That's insane. America good at being bad. Yeah, we're good at evil. Except we're not even that good at that. We're losing our grip on power. If we were good at evil, the ICC wouldn't have arrest warrants on Benjamin Netanyahu. That's a huge America L. Huge soft power L. It's a good thing for the world, though. I'm happy about it.
This is a crazy amount of well poisoning, and it's so disingenuous, and it's so bad faith.
This is also like, it's funny he's saying that this is bad faith, because Hasan is being taken out of context here pretty severely. So I see how he could trick his audience into seeing that Hasan is like being bad faith by just comparing him to Steven Crowder. But at the same time, he's still taking Steven Crowder's stance. He's still saying that like there needs to be more people that call out Hasan. Again, just look up Hasan bad and scroll. Do it right now, and you will see some of the most atrocious content you've ever seen. But there is an endless supply of it. It will never end because it's easy. It drums up 30, 50K views on the randomest channel, and you don't even have to make any good points. Ethan Klein is doing it right now. Just Hasan bad videos are an entire genre of literal sludge. It's slop. It's crazy to say that no one calls him out. That's bullshit. Who doesn't call him out?
I hope it's clear to everybody just how bad faith this is right now, and how desperately he's trying not to respond to any of the actual criticism that I've made. Criticizing Hasan does not make you Steven Crowder, as much as he wants it to.
Should I go back to my own country, dude?
Once again, putting heinous words in my mouth, implying that I want him to leave the country because...
You called him anti-American, you weirdo. What else does that mean? You're otherizing him. You wouldn't do that to a fucking white guy. You never call a white guy anti-American. But Hasan identifies as white. He calls himself white. So Ethan has plausible deniability. But I still know. I still know better. And Ethan should too.
Because now that I disagreed with him, I'm a heinous right-wing Nazi. Didn't say that. Don't want that. Don't believe it. But he's trying to build this image of me in his audience mind to turn them against me and to not listen to any of the legitimate criticism.
That's projection. Remember, you project so no one accuses you of doing the thing that you're saying. He is painting a picture of Hasan to polarize his audience against Hasan. Otherwise, he would just fucking talk to him. He's the one who wouldn't stop. He's the one who hasn't stopped bringing him up. Hasan doesn't even like talking about this.
That I've leveled against him.
The fuck is this? This is the reason why I don't want to watch a single fucking clip of Ethan, because I feel like I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Okay, not because I'm like escaping accountability. Like, come on, dude, come the fuck on. You think I haven't heard these fucking talking points a million times over?
If Hasan could at least just respond to the point instead of saying, "I'm Steven Crowder, I'm a right-wing Nazi, I want to kick him out of the country," just talk about what I'm saying. Can we try that?
Over. I know the fucking subreddit that you basically scraped these fucking bottom of the barrel talking points from. I know. I hear it all the time from his pathetic fucking fans that come in here and hit me with it every single fucking day. The real reason why I don't want to fucking watch these videos is because I don't want to like lean into the fucking mania that he is expressing every single damn day.
And that's valid.
I genuinely have no idea what he's talking about. Presumably, he's
talking outside the horse blinders, so he's just completely confused. I don't know what exists outside the horse blinders. I don't have peripheral vision. I don't see what you're saying when you're saying I'm spiraling. I don't get that. No.
Once again, trying to tie me with destiny, but I really don't even know. I don't know what's happening here. All I know is he's not...
These clips are definitely not taken from a subreddit, yeah, even though they're in 144p.
Responding to any of the points I made.
Because I think it's utterly irrelevant in the grander point that Israel is committing a fucking genocide, that Israel is an apartheid state. And I think it's like very selfish to have a conversation about my radical anti-American views over and over again.
This is a logical fallacy that you'll see Hasan leaning on pretty frequently here. And what he's saying is because there's a genocide happening in Gaza, he shouldn't be accountable to talk about anything else.
What fallacy is that?
Because this terrible thing is happening. But again, I'm not talking about Gaza. I'm talking about Hasan. And he's done this. He's doing this smoke and mirrors where he's sidestepping my criticism and putting it like I'm trying to take away attention from Gaza. The truth is that we're smart, thinking, feeling beings, and we can hold two thoughts in our head at once. We can chew bubblegum, and walk. And frankly, we all know that. And so this is a really cheap way of essentially avoiding accountability or avoid.
He hasn't really reiterated what he wanted Hasan to respond to. And so this video really is confusing. Like, I don't know what he wants Hasan to even say. Yeah, we're adults here. We can hold two thoughts in our head, but we can't have a face-to-face conversation. Can't even talk to you on the phone about this because I'm scared. That's why I'm making this YouTube video. This was your friend. And making a video circled around these super short clips from a subreddit when you could just talk to him is so weird. I can't get over it.
Avoid talking about anything he wants. It's very disingenuous.
Except plenty of people do, okay? Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Fox News.
Yeah, just because you aren't Tucker Carlson or Steven Crowder doesn't mean you aren't capable of recycling or sanitizing even their talking points. You can say the same things. That's what he's saying. He's not calling you a Nazi. He's saying you're saying the same things that they do about him. So why does he have to respond to you in particular? You're not special. And maybe that's the biggest problem Ethan has, is that he's made to feel not special among the sea of critics Hasan has. And in order to justify that feeling, he has to tell himself, no one is calling him out. I'm the only one. I'm special. Steven Crowder goes to a different school, so I don't see how he's relevant.
Once again, I've talked about this quite a lot, and he's isolated one part of me saying that I think he's doing anti-American propaganda. And what he immediately does is he takes that and he associates me immediately and directly with, like, who did he say? Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, bigots and nationalists. You're doing nationalistic rhetoric by saying you're anti-American. Of course he's going to compare you to nationalists, to Christian nationalists. I don't engage in this online drama, but I think Ethan might feel personally slighted because Ethan and Hasan used to be coworkers. It's part of it, right? I think Ethan wanted Hasan to redeem his image online, and when Hasan instead challenged him, especially in a moment of emotional vulnerability that he had in the wake of October 7th, because he had family in Israel, and he really let that dominate his entire response to that attack. I think because Hasan stood on his principles and stayed consistent rather than coddling him and capitulating when he was at like a really low emotional point, I think he has like built his emotional stability around this like vendetta to like get back at him for that. This drama could have been an email. That's the biggest part of it all. I'm probably looking too much into it, but like really the one drama I'll actually agree with people who say this stupid ass shit like, oh, it should have been kept private. They could have had a phone call, man. I don't even care if it was private or not. Just like, why? This is not how communication works. And you're like, he's not responding to my points. Hit him up. What is your problem? He's so desperate for external validation. Yeah. He's like scared of Hasan. Like, what is he going to do? Grown men with children having public pissing matches is embarrassing. I mean, that's the thing. Hasan's just there. Ethan's been on this crusade for more than a month, for a while. And it's really just him on his own. The most Hasan has done is try to give people some, like, context and evidence, but he just keeps going. And then he, moves on. Once Twitch changes its TOS, he moves on and he's like, now we need to talk about Ludwig. We'll get there.
A blight on this country. And once again, because I disagree with him on some issues, now I'm basically Tucker Carlson.
It's because you called him anti-American. That's nationalistic rhetoric. What do you want?
I mean, can you believe that leap in logic?
And now your favorite, Destiny. A person who has literally told me to go back to my own country. Okay? A person who has fantasized about executing me.
I'm anti-America. Yeah,
that's
I think
terrible.
I am too.
I've never said that. I didn't talk about Destiny.
I didn't talk about him. I just used his subreddit and all of his friends and mods and little minions to get all my talking points and clips. That's it.
Why are you talking about Destiny when I've articulated points that are very easy to digest and respond to?
So easy that he can't even reiterate what they are. He can't even say what they are.
He's going on about how Destiny told him to get out of the country and Destiny fantasizes about murdering him. And I'm saying, well, that's all terrible. But
so how is Hasan lying then? He's like, the video is, I won't let Hasan Piker lie about me. He's not lying. I think he's, supplying context to where you're getting your talking points and the things that you're saying.
What's that got to do with me? He's poisoning the minds of his audience, trying to, once again, associate me somehow intertwined with Destiny, even though I've mentioned him maybe once in 10 years. I have never talked about this man.
A person who
Actually, the only time I've talked about him is in the context that I used to watch him play StarCraft 2. Like, it's not even political. It's just like, oh yeah, I used to watch him.
Why does he remember that so specifically? This is weird.
Play StarCraft 2, like 15 years ago.
Okay, a person who has fantasized about executing me numerous times over. A person who has had prominent Nazi figures on his broadcast talk about killing me. Prominent Nazi figures who hate you too. Now you like Destiny? Really?
I have not said anything about Destiny, but okay.
There's clips of him mentioning Destiny multiple times. Oh, whoops.
Fucking Sam Hyde doesn't like you either, dog.
I didn't say anything about Sam Hyde either. Once again, I don't know what's happening.
Like, how do you not recognize that these people who fucking call for your death and have said horrifying shit about you over and over again, now you are aligned with, now you're reposting fucking Keemstar and shit.
That is a terribly bad faith recounting. What happened in that case is that Frogan and her friends were trying to blame the harassment she was getting on me, even though it was quite obviously from people responding to her telling vets that they deserve to get PTSD.
That's not what she was banned for, and that's not even what she said. He's lying.
What I was doing, clearly in my stories, was I was showing tweets from all these conservative sources showing that the harassment she's getting is from them. I in no way...
But she wasn't banned from that harassment. She was banned for the tier list, just like every other person on that stage. They were all banned for the tier list.
Endorsed it at all. I showed a picture of like Donut Operator tweeting about it, some cops account tweeting about it.
Yeah, all these right-wing weirdos that said the same things that you were saying. Oh my God, this video comes full circle to him admitting what he's complaining about being accused of. He's like, I'm not Steven Crowder. I'm not this or that. And he's like, Donut Operator, gun lover fuck on YouTube, Hitler guy 1488. They all said these horrible things about Frogan. The things that I said are the things that got her banned, though.
Drama Alert tweeted about it, and a few others.
That's your side, bro. That's your team. Those are
massive presence on Twitter, and we're talking about Frogan. So to say that I'm now
he targeted her before and more than any of those people have. He's directly sent harassment towards Frogan more times than any of those YouTubers that he mentioned. Way more than gunlover.fuck or donut operator or whatever. He's done it worse and he's done it more. Maybe not worse because those people were awful, but still. And he started it. He did it first.
Reposting Drama Alert, implying that I'm co-signing or supporting him.
I'm just reposting him because we agree about one thing. Come on. I'm sure it's only one.
So bad faith that it could only imply that he knows exactly what he's doing, that it's actually that bad faith. That he's just essentially lying and doing a character assassination.
It makes me so fucking sad.
Okay, well, apparently he's disappointed and he's sad about a bunch of things that have nothing to do with me.
Dude, no, he's sad at the state of your mind and how much of a self-centered freak you're being. How can you look at your own friend, former friend, say that, looking so visibly upset and defeated and being like, well, I guess it's a bunch of stuff that's not about me, and that's why I'm mad, because he's not talking about me right now. You need to talk about me.
So going back, you can see there's layers and layers and layers of character assassination, propaganda.
I don't think he said anything about Ethan's character. He was comparing his rhetoric and what he was saying to people who say the same things as proved by what Ethan says in the video. It is so absurd. It is so depressing to see someone who is capable of actual critical thought, we know he is, genuinely choose not to do it. This is a choice. Horse blinders, because it feels good.
Logical fallacies, and not one response to any of the points that I've actually made. And it seems obvious to me that he's trying to poison his audience against me.
He's trying to poison his audience and kill them.
My beliefs and just straight up lying about things that I said and things that I believe.
This is completely unrelated, but why is he bathing in the light of God right now? Yeah, he's in the microwave for this video. What up, guys? Coming to you live from the microwave. Turned it on. 11 minutes. How long can I last?
Now, this just came out. I just saw this on the subreddit. But things like this, I like to get ahead of as quickly as possible, because I do not want him to be allowed to set this tempo as if this is the official narrative. I must fight this at every point. And once again, if you're a Hasan fan, challenge him to do better than this.
He's not fighting him on the points when he shows his hypocrisy. Things like how many times he's mentioned Destiny and used his talking points or even clips directly from his subreddit, you know, pointing out how he's lying. I mean, he's bold-faced lying. Even before Hasan was upset with him, Hasan's chat has criticized Ethan for his weird capitalism arguments. I think those arguments are just foul. And the debates he did with Hasan and then the Zionism sealed the deal. Yeah, it's not on one thing. It's not one thing that people have a problem with him on. It's patterns of behavior, it's consistent positions that are just terrible. Yeah, Hasan's chat challenges him every single day. Just watch one video, for real. Next one. Every week for a month, he's made a video. Hasan Piker is a weaselly little liar, and I'm not gonna call him because I'm scared. Is he high? He looks stoned. This is Afterlife. That's why it's in letterbox or whatever. It's cut off. It's like the Matrix.
I'm here to address something that happened on Thursday's show.
He's faded, dude.
We were doing our post-election cope stream, and the subject of Israel had came up, and here is what was said about it. Let's take a look.
Trump is so pro-Israel, it's insane.
Not only is he pro-Israel,
him and
hates
Bibi like talk a lot, and Bibi's become a lot like Trump.
Yeah,
so.
Bibi's his guy. They're like homies. Bibi's celebrating last night.
Just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about, and he fired him because they had a disagreement, and that's like so Trump coded.
Well, he was like a moderating voice
in
the war room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish.
And he got rid of him, or at least a more moderate voice. I don't know anything about
Talking
the
about
guy.
Yoav
Here
Galant.
we're talking about Yoav Galant, who was a member of Netanyahu's war cabinet, who just yesterday
cut off food, water, gasoline, and electricity to Gaza on October 8th and said we are fighting human animals, and they called him a really good guy.
By Netanyahu because he wanted to end the war.
Oh, I'm sure.
And Netanyahu wants to continue the war.
Yeah,
and
that's
therefore
it.
he fired him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's all that was. He wanted to end the war. End it how? There's a reason he's not saying Yoav Galant wanted a ceasefire. He wanted to end the war. We're not talking about a ceasefire and a pullout of Gaza. We're talking about just a fake promise that he made. A lie that Ethan swallowed.
Once he was fired, people in Israel took to the streets and are protesting because as far right as Netanyahu's, war cabinet is, he is literally a moderating voice in that cabinet and was the only one representing the people.
I mean, it was bad that he fired him, obviously, because he's political opposition and he's a popular candidate in Israel, and he just fired him out of nowhere or whatever. It's just, Netanyahu in defiance of any kind of retaliation or any kind of pushback, right? Dictator stuff. But that doesn't make him a good guy. Doesn't make him a normal political candidate. He's a war criminal. The ICC put out a warrant for his arrest today, along with Benjamin Netanyahu.
And pushing for the war to end.
War criminal, by the way.
The problem with Yoav, which I don't even think Hila probably knew at the time, because this war's been going on for so long, is that he's somewhat infamous for this quote here. He said on October 8th, there will be no electricity, no food, no fuel. We are fighting human animals, and we act accordingly. When he's talking about entering Gaza in the first phases of the war, now a lot of people look at this.
So he wasn't talking about entering Gaza. He was talking about the process of shutting off control of food supply, water supply, and fuel supply, which Israel controls. Why does Israel control the flow of food, fuel, and water into Gaza? Why is that? Why does he have the power to do that? Withholding these things is a war crime, by the way. Using food, water as a weapon of war, a war crime, instant war crime. And it's collective punishment, yep, also super illegal.
Language and think that it's dehumanizing and genocidal, and I'm one of those people. I agree that this is a horrible thing to say, and
it's so bad.
I don't defend him, and I never would defend him. A statement like this, which I assume.
Well, he said, I don't defend him, and I never would defend a statement like this. He's not saying he would never defend Yoav Galant.
People who watch this show know and understand. Now, a year plus later, for whatever reason, this is the same guy who's advocating for the war to end in Israel. And Hila, looking over the news, sees that people are rioting, that people are upset, and that people who want the war to end are upset that he got fired. And that's basically all that happened. We're talking about the fact that he's the only person that wants to end the war. And I personally don't understand how that's not relevant.
I mean, it is relevant, but he probably didn't actually want to end the war. He probably lied to you. What do you mean? Like, just because Netanyahu fired him doesn't mean he was actually anti-war. He's a warmonger. He's a war criminal. I think he had a quote a while ago that was like, there's nothing left for the IDF to do here. But like, they still want to settle Gaza. Yeah, famously, nobody's calling for a ceasefire. Because, I mean, Yoav Gallant didn't call for a ceasefire. If he did, that would actually mean something. Even if it was after he was fired. But he hasn't. He doesn't actually want the war to end. That's a lie.
Hear from The Guardian, a left-leaning newspaper.
And he wanted to go full ham mode on southern Lebanon. Well, then what war? What war is ending? This is one war that Israel is fighting on like 5 fronts, really. The last time I heard an Israeli spokesperson describe it, they said 7 fronts. So just keep that in mind. To just believe a politician is crazy. Well, Netanyahu fired him, so he must be good, right? Bad guy fire him. Trollface 2.
You guys all probably know. Here's a headline. Benjamin Netanyahu fires Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, triggering protests in Israel. Demonstration in Tel Aviv, widely seen by Israel's allies as a break on far-right elements of the Israeli government. Again, this isn't just my opinion. This is opinion that's held by...
What is your opinion? Oh, this is... Oh, no. What? Does he think he's doing analysis? Widely considered by Israel's international allies to be a break on the far-right elements of the country's coalition government, that means nothing. That is fluff from The Guardian. How are you just like, point made, The Guardian calls him a figure widely considered to be a break, which is not an official like description at all, on far-right elements. Well, he's not anymore. He got fired. So he's not a very good break, is he? Like what? If he even tried to apply the brakes, it didn't work. And now he has no power. He's been downgraded to just some guy who is a war criminal.
Of the Israeli government. Again, this isn't just my opinion. This is opinion that's held by internationally, that he is a moderating voice on the war cabinet.
Like that only means as much as it can possibly mean for Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, great. The next moderating voice is going to get fired too. Like, what do you mean? A moderating voice doesn't mean anything if he's just disappeared by the person he's supposed to be moderating. What do you mean? This is so stupid. Well, yeah, people around the world think that he's a moderating voice. So I can too? Yeah, people around the world think all kinds of stupid stuff.
Once again, advocating for the war to end, which is what I thought we all wanted.
No, we're not on the same page, brother. Because the war to end is a cowardly, shallow, purposefully vague description of a very intense, genocidal ethnic cleansing campaign happening and settler expansion happening on multiple fronts to multiple countries. Like, he never talks about Lebanon. You notice that? He stays real focused on Gaza, except when he wanted to shit on Hassan Nasrallah, who was killed in Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. There's no Hamas there. Why are they there? Doing revenge war against Hezbollah and conveniently, picking up land in now northern Israel, southern Lebanon.
Reportedly says Israeli army has nothing left to do in Gaza. The ousted defense minister also quoted as saying Netanyahu rejected peace deals against advice of his security officials. As you can see, I'm not saying any of this to defend him. What he said and what he's done should very well be investigated by the International Criminal Court, and if he's found, he should submit to an investigation. If he's found guilty, then charge him.
He's charged. He is charged. They got him.
But what I am saying is that I think that while Ela misspoke and said he's a good guy, her intention was that, this guy is trying to end the war.
No. Where did he say he wants to end the war? He said the IDF has nothing to do in Gaza, which doesn't mean the war ends. He wanted to ramp up in Lebanon. That's still war. Unless he doesn't think that's war. What's going on in Lebanon's not war. What's going on in Syria is not war. The strikes on the Houthis, that's not war. None of that is war. He could have just said we didn't know better. Yeah, but he has to do this like flip-flop, like, well, he's actually wants to end the war. And okay, if he's a war criminal, then put him in jail forever, I guess, because that's what you do to war criminals. Investigate him. Like, no, it's clear as day.
And I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page as that being a good thing.
I feel like the reason I brought it up was mainly to express the frustration with BB and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, attempting at
Yeah, there's a
moderate.
lot of ways to point that out, though, without calling him a good guy. Benjamin Netanyahu has turned down every opportunity for a ceasefire and a hostage transfer. He didn't want the hostages. The hostage families have been saying this for months and months and months.
It wasn't really so much to say Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have used that word. That was a bad choice on my part, considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. Really coming from the concerning feeling of like, we have Trump in office and Bibi just fired the guy that is opposing him. That's all I was trying to say, but I do understand that was not a good choice of words, and I would not have said that again.
The problem is less so that you called him a good guy and more so that you continue, even now, to buy and defend the propaganda that he somehow wants to end the war, and without even critically thinking about what that means. Again, it's just like this is a terrorist video. You're not even thinking about what the subject of the sentence even really means in the greater context of what you're saying. You're not using words with real purpose. You're just throwing them around. He wants to end the war. The war.
I'm stepping away for a little while from being on camera and being on the podcast. It's too much and it's not fair for everybody. And yeah.
So that's where our head was at when we said that. But now people like Hasan are going on their channels and accusing us of supporting a war criminal. Anyway, here's what Hasan...
So you said that, and then you just defended him. Like, I'm sorry, but he did just defend him by being like, well, he wants to end the war. And everyone around the world thinks that he wants to end the war. No, he doesn't. People like Hasan, aka, it literally says in the subtitles, people like Hasan. Anyway, here's Hasan. I think it was right for her to acknowledge that, what she said was wrong. It's just, again, they both said he wants to end the war. And it's just a lie. It's just not true. It's demonstrably not true. And even if he did want to end the war, that doesn't sanitize the war crimes that he did. I'm not going to thirst in your chat, but if Hasan Piker was not built like a Greek god and sexy, he wouldn't have the relevance he has and this wouldn't be happening. I mean, I think everybody has their thing, right? I'm transgender. Ethan Klein is stupid. Everyone has their thing.
Hasan said this evening about the clip that sent everybody into a frenzy.
Crazy. I just hate how Ethan is brigading smaller content creators like the deprogram because he couldn't get to you. It's fucking gross how he keeps picking smaller content creators that are just getting by, and he is sitting on his golden throne. Is just straight up harassment. I know he's just...
I can't get over the fact that they keep fucking crying about me responding to these communities. Like, this is the biggest socialist podcast. They have like they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Yeah, you have way more, dude. What do you mean? You have a way bigger platform. You're hyper focused on random creators in Hasan's orbit for no reason. You're weird. You're weird for that. Yeah, he cut him off. Of course.
Second Thought has 2 million subscribers. When can I respond to these people?
When you make an argument, when you say something of substance, when you say something real, he puts it on his Instagram story because it goes away after 24 hours. There's a reason he's not showing any of this shit. It's embarrassing.
When is it warranted? Like, give me a fucking break.
Like, aligning with all these fucking drama peddlers like Keemstar and shit in an effort to try and get me fucking banned is psychotic to me, I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a Weasley little fucking liar. He's just straight up lying. He's just lying right now. In fact, this is a lie that he keeps saying, is that I'm somehow aligning myself with Keemstar. Once again,
reposted his post and was like, yeah, facts.
I'll show you. I went and fished out the original stories. I was talking about Frogan getting shit from a ton of conservatives for her wonderful remarks about hoping American military men get PTSD.
Acting like he isn't one of the people who put Frogan on so many of these guys' radar, either directly or indirectly, is ridiculous. He put Frogan on the radar of reactionary weirdos who then made hate and harassment videos about her. And then as he continued to attack and harass her, other people jumped in. More right-wing people jumped in after you because they saw you were having a good time harassing a hijabi streamer and they wanted in, and you created this environment and you trailblazed it. It's so disgusting.
To say it's not my fault that she...
And it's all because she used to be a mod for Hasan's stream. That's literally all it is.
Getting harassed when this clip of hers going mega viral on Twitter and being called out by the worst people on the internet. right?
Yeah,
Look at
dude.
these are all conservative
They would probably not know anything about her if you never targeted her in the first place.
shitbags. These are all people that I disagree with and have openly said terrible things about, including Keemstar. So, like, the way that he singles him out and says, oh, Ethan is co-signing Keemstar, is he's a fucking liar, dude. He's a weaselly little...
They're just targeting the same person that you are with the same rhetoric. What do you mean? I don't understand. Take the dog out.
The person that they're talking about is Yoav Gallant.
The problem why I'm frustrated with this whole situation, you guys know me. I'm more than willing, more than happy to address shortcomings and errors that I've made and take every chance I can to learn and grow from them, right? But the problem I have is that there's our subreddit and our community is overridden with these 8-year longtime ultra fans who can no longer, you know, tolerate us, or they can no longer walk down this path with us as we've thrown our lot in with the
Dude, he's like, what does this have to do with Yoav Gallant and like the clip that he just showed?
Nazis, right? But like these same people, okay, have they hold no standards. And
what?
Hasan can go out there and
he's saying people aren't watching me and they're watching Hasan. Oh God.
glaze an international terrorist organization and its leader and glaze up Hasan Nasrallah like he's a fucking great dude.
Hasan Nasrallah was assassinated. Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization that is also a part of the Lebanese parliament.
Yeah, dude, Hezbollah is in the government. You can't say they're all terrorists. The guys with pagers that got blown up in Lebanon, many of those people were members of the Lebanese parliament. They're like elected officials. Like it's a faction, it's a movement. And just because they're on the American terror watch list doesn't mean anything to your argument. That doesn't add any kind of moral weight. That means they're an enemy of capital and an enemy of American hegemony. Yeah, and it also killed doctors and I think 2 children. Hezbollah is in Lebanon. What is Israel doing in Lebanon? That's all you need to ask yourself. Why are they invading Lebanon? It's a great question. They've been doing it for months. You can't just be like, because they're terrorists. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why don't we invade Afghanistan again then? With that same logic. The Taliban has Afghanistan. We got to go get it back. It's like, yeah, we spent 25 years trying to give it to a security force that immediately crumbled and gave way to the Taliban. It's just not how anything works.
Like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty...
That's glazing them up, by the way. Glazing up Hezbollah and Hasan Nasrallah.
Do we like them or no?
This is what it looks like.
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty successful against Israel. They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean they're evil. That's a crazy way to live your life. You're just swallowing State Department narratives at that point, and you're an idiot. Not to say anything of Nick. I'm not saying that about him. He's just joking.
I have an issue with them, let's just say.
I'm going to give you guys a crash course on Hezbollah.
Oh, thank God. I don't have an issue with them. Is a perfectly fine statement. Perfectly fine.
Start back from the beginning. 1983, suicide truck bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. 45 embassy staff were killed, 34 injured. They bombed a French Marine barracks in Beirut, 300 dead. Attempted murder of the head of the Turkish Jewish community. Suicide bombing of the Argentine Jewish mutual...
Dude, don't even start with this. Don't even start with this body count history of terrorism. This is a ridiculous argument when you're talking about a group that is standing in resistance to Israel. Israel and the Mossad did terrorism in Arab countries to Jewish populations to encourage migration to Israel in the 50s and 60s. That's real. That is absolutely real. But no, tell me how awful a group currently fighting them in Lebanon used to be in 1993. Go ahead.
Association building, Buenos Aires, 85 killed, 300 injured.
In Buenos Aires. Excuse me?
Buenos Aires, 85 killed, 300
injured. How did they
injured.
get there?
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Bombing of a restaurant near the U.S. Air Force Base in Spain, 18 killed, 83 injured. Car bombs of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, 11 killed, 58 injured. Hijacking of Kuwait airline planes, killed 4. Suicide bombing at the Israeli Embassy in Buenos Aires, 29 killed, 240 injured.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Bro, he's accusing Hassan of being anti-American. Do you know what America does? Do you know anything about America? This is crazy. Now do America. You don't even have to do Israel. Are you kidding? America just in that time period has at least 10 times that body count. All put together times 2. That's not even getting close to talking about Israel either. We are the arch-terrorist state. What do you mean? Surprised he didn't lump the PLO numbers in there and call them Hezbollah. Yeah, I don't... It's so blatantly out of context. The idea that there have never been... Again, this is... When was the latest date on this? 1992? This is the 80s and 90s. What the fuck? The latest one was 1994. Bro, that is 30 fucking years ago. You think that's the same group? Oh, here we go. He gets into more recent ones. There you go.
240 injured.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Suspected of carrying out suicide bombing missions against Israeli vacationers.
Suspected. Fuck you mean suspected? Hello?
In Bulgaria. Indicted for the assassination of former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik al-Hariri.
I don't have an issue with them.
Hezbollah participated Prime Minister.
Hang on. In 2005, foiled attempt to explode IED at Bangkok. Israel invaded Lebanon in 1982 and allowed the Sabra and Shatila massacre to happen in September of that year. Yeah, he's glazing past a lot of massacres and invasion and war, occupation. He's just saying like this randomly happened. Look at all this stuff. Terrorism, look at the picture. This is how they teach terrorism in high school, and that's probably why he's using it.
Surrender or starve, strategy displacing thousands, amounts to crimes against humanity. Does that sound familiar?
I don't have an issue with them.
Well, the Syrian government's...
That was Syria. What? That wasn't Hezbollah, though. This is guilt by association.
Stated aim has been to vanquish opposition fighters. Its cynical use of surrender or starve tactics has involved a devastating combination of sieges and bombardments.
I don't have an issue with them.
These have been part of a systematic as well as widespread attack on civilians that amounts to crimes against humanity. Sounds like what Israel's doing in Gaza.
I don't have an issue with them.
Relentless attacks on civilians in addition to immense suffering.
But that's... What? This is so dishonest. Yeah, suddenly it's about to bomb civilians.
Suffering caused by siege tactics, deliberate attacks on civilians and civilian objects cause unimaginable misery. The government and Hezbollah forces burned the agricultural fields just as a form of punishment, even though we couldn't access them.
I don't have an issue with them.
Once again, sounds like what Israel's doing in Gaza. As of May...
He was talking about the current resistance to Israeli invasion. He's completely skipped over why Israel's in Lebanon to begin with. Is he even against the invasion of Lebanon? Do we know this? He's like justifying it. Why are they in Lebanon right now, Ethan? Stop looking 10, 30, 40 years ago. Why are they there now when Hasan is explaining the context of who they are now? This is insane.
21. A minimum of 580,000 people is estimated to have been killed, with 13 million Syrians being displaced and 7 million refugees forced to flee Syria.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Here's some quotes from Hezbollah leaders, including Nasrallah. Our struggle will end only...
You can't even say it right.
...when this entity, if Israel, is obliterated. We recognize no treaty with it, no ceasefire, and no peace agreement. According to Shal...
Yeah, what? Well, you think that's right now? He didn't say that just now. That was the 1985 manifesto. He conveniently forgot to say that part. The 1985 manifesto reportedly states this. Or I'm sorry, Secretary General Nasrallah has stated, I don't know when, and he's also quoting a 1985 manifesto and a vague quote from Nasrallah. This is so shallow. And yeah, of course it's from Wikipedia.
If Israel is obliterated, we recognize no treaty with it, no ceasefire, and no peace agreement.
That has nothing to do with the current conflict. That is utterly irrelevant to what Hasan has ever even talked about when it comes to Hezbollah. This is crazy. Yeah, he forgot the concept of time.
According to Shal Shai,
2001.
Nasrallah said in a speech delivered in Beirut, what do the Jews want?
Why didn't he say the date? It's right in front of him. Why did he stop short? He didn't finish that sentence. He just stopped. Why? Why is that? That's really fucking interesting to me. God, that's interesting. Why didn't he say that this is 2001, dude?
They want security and money. Throughout history, the Jews have been Allah's most cowardly and avaricious.
Oh, you're right, dude. And we kill guys like that and everyone in the apartment building they live in, right? That's what we do. You die for saying stuff like this in 2001. No one tell the fucking Israeli government what Ethan has said about Orthodox Jews. The disgusting things that he said that I wouldn't dare repeat, because then it would be fine to blow up the entire 3-mile radius around his home. boom. The Israeli government would do that because that's how it works. When you're anti-Semitic, you get killed for that, I guess. So he probably did say this. And I don't endorse this. And neither does Hasan, and he knows that. Hasan obviously doesn't agree with this and will point out that Nasrallah had been anti-Semitic in the past. It's not relevant to the fight of resistance against Israel. And it's also not relevant to the current conflict that is Israel invading and occupying southern Lebanon. Why are they there? Why won't they leave? This is not something that Ethan is even approaching. He doesn't even want to talk about the actual invasion. He wants to talk about how in 2001, Hassan Nasrallah was fucking anti-Semitic. Or in 1985, they did suicide bombings. Like, cool, man.
Features. If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserly and greedily than they are.
I don't have an issue with them.
If we search the entire world...
Dude, you could do that for anything. Oh my God. This is so much worse than saying that he said Yoav Gallant was a good guy. Because he also defended that, basically, by saying, well, he wants to end the war. He somehow always manages to do this fucking thing where he complains about something in the beginning of the video and then does that exact thing to Hasan. It's fucking infuriating. What a piece of shit. Like, truly. Greatest piece of shit of all time.
For a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psych, mind, and ideology and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice, I do not say the Israeli.
So, this is someone secondhand quoting him. He, conveniently again leaves that out. He doesn't, if you're just listening, you might not catch it.
The entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable than they are.
I don't have an issue with them.
If we search the entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psych, mind, and ideology and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice, I do not say the Israeli.
I don't have an issue with them.
Yeah, no, but Hasan is doing the character assassination. Totally. You're so right.
23 October 2002 article quoted
Bro, 2002.
Nasrallah as saying, if Jews all gather in Israel, it will save us the trouble of going after them worldwide. The history of Jews has
awful. That's a terrible thing to say. Of course. That was 2002, and now they're invading Lebanon. That's not relevant to what Hasan is talking about.
Regardless of the Zionist proposal, they are a people who are evil in their ideas. The state of the grandsons of apes and pigs, the Zionist Jews, and he condemns them as the murderers of the prophet.
Does he have anything from sooner than 2005 that Nasrallah said that was anti-Semitic? That's weird. Why wouldn't he have said anything anti-Semitic when his country was invaded by them if he was so anti-Semitic to this day? That's weird. Anything on that?
So my point is, if you're going to come down so hard on Hila for what she said, where's the energy
this is 10
when
times.
Hasan defends?
10 times worse than anything anyone said to Hila. This is direct character assassination, complete misrepresentation of the facts. And then Ethan still defended the position. He's like, well, he does want to end the war. No, he doesn't.
Hezbollah and Hassan Nasrallah, who is a violent, genocidal, anti-Semite who mass murdered Syrians and committed terrorism all around the world. Where's
Israel has done exactly that to a greater degree. That's the complicated problem of Middle Eastern politics. No one is perfect. Everyone is, coming from violence in their background because of the world order, and that does a lot of things to a lot of different people. But there's a state that is objectively in the wrong and objectively over-leveraged in their power, and there's no way you can condemn people living in the most impoverished and oppressive conditions imaginable rising up against that. Yeah, and nuclear armed. Not on paper, but they are.
There's all the 8-year subscribers flooding into his communities.
It's so irrelevant to Judaism. The entire thing, the entire criticism of Israel is so separate from Judaism, it couldn't be less relevant to the actual criticism of the government, of the settler colonial tactics. The religion is just a justification for this violence, and it doesn't make any sense to conflate these things. Even from a point of criticizing people like Nasrallah, and the ideas he used to hold. He absolutely was anti-Semitic. But focusing on the religion, you're missing the forest for the trees. There's a greater problem, and it's imperialism. It's settler colonialism. And it's the same tactics America has used throughout its history to indigenous Americans and black people, who, once we freed, were basically treated like they were indigenous, moved around against their will and put in, concentration camps and ghettos instead of reservations.
Saying they can't follow him in these footsteps anymore.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen, a lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits, and you hear about, some of their attitudes about, gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million.
Ethan is doing what Hasan is describing right now. He's jumping to an Orientalist, violent attitude. If you think that there's no wisdom in leaders of resistance movements representing some of the most oppressed people in the world, you're just a Western chauvinist and you're a fool. Of course there's wisdom in the things that Hassan Nasrallah has said. Is he right about everything? Of course not. That's ridiculous. Did he have hangups and biases in the past? For sure. Is it relevant to imperialism? Is it relevant to violence that he experienced regularly in his life that happens as a consequence of just living in proximity to Israel? It doesn't change anything. Analysis is not endorsement or justification. No, of course not. And certainly not endorsement or justification of things you're not even talking about. That's crazy.
Okay. Like, it's not no, it's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the fuck?
I mean, he's right. And at the same time, we say it here in this chat. Don't ask Norm Finkelstein about trans issues. He's old and dumb and doesn't know about trans issues. But he's one of the most well-read, well-spoken pro-Palestinian scholars. He's not dumb. He's just ignorant on that issue. But all of a sudden, when it comes to Arab resistance leaders, we orientalize it and we tick the violence up to 11. Even though American leaders say way more violent shit. Violence is built into the American existence. It's required. Yeah, he's pinkwashing. Gay marriage isn't even legal in Israel. Fuck are you saying? And he's like, well, I don't agree with that either. So shut up. Then you don't have shit to say. Just poking or digging around for nothing. Ego. God damn. All he's saying is that these are educated and much more complex than just evil Arab. And then Ethan Klein pulls up this random, I don't know what the source is on this. World, Middle East. I don't know what the source is on this. I don't know what the date is on this quote. None of this makes sense.
Perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million.
It's true.
Okay.
And he's talking mainly about history as well. History and philosophy. They're educated. Ethan Klein doesn't know anything. Ethan hasn't once had a Palestinian or Jewish scholar on. No. And he didn't want to talk to Sam Cedar, who's a Jewish anti-Zionist activist and commentator. Didn't want to talk to him either. It's anti-Semitic if you suggest it.
No, this is why. It's Orientalist. To literally look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons, and like sometimes they get this shit right. No, dude.
It's not Orientalists alone. I mean, it's Orientalists, but it's mainly just racist. But he doesn't want to say that because he has to be nice. People don't listen to you when you're too mean to them, and I hate that. I really, really hate it.
He knows. It's crazy. He's read more books than you could ever imagine. And also, ultimately, he is regarded as a pretty brilliant a person in terms of like everything that he's done.
So we can support Israel and not agree with how they treat gay people, but I can't point out war crimes because Hamas hates gay people. He just wants the status quo. He wants it to be fine. He wants the Israeli Zionist existence that has existed, that he has understood for the last like 20, 30-ish years, that has been an unsustainable order built on brutal apartheid. And the government's answer is not to desegregate the state. The government's solution, really any Israeli solution, is not to integrate Israeli society, is not to democratize and end the apartheid. It's to expand into the West Bank and push out Palestinians and push out Lebanese in South Lebanon or Palestinian refugees in South Lebanon as well. The Israeli state is very awful and going in a horrible direction.
You might not agree with his message.
It's just a rehash of they'd throw you off the roof line. That fucking shit is so goddamn racist. Anyone ever says they throw gays off rooftops in Gaza, they are a racist fucking dog of American imperialism. They are a fucking piece of shit. They're an unthinking, unfeeling animal if they tell you that shit. I hate it. It is fucking disgusting. Because you know who fucking did that shit? ISIS. There's no fucking record in Palestinian history of that happening. And it was only one time. It's an instant stereotype. Hamas never fucking did that. Has never happened. There are so many gay Palestinians that are literally weaponized by the Israeli government with blackmail. It's disgusting. It's so fucking gross. I hate it. I get so fucking triggered at that blatant racism. Because again, it happened one fucking time. And it was ISIS that did it. Which there's no fucking faction in support of ISIS anywhere. They were a pariah entity. Israel once apologized to ISIS for shooting at them. That's awesome.
You might not agree with his attitude overall in terms of like in terms of his opinions on civil liberties and shit like that. But ultimately, this motherfucker has read a shit ton of books.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
What? Okay. Do you know how many criminals the Israeli government has been harboring? Dude, there were riots they did a January 6th to protect prison guards that raped a Palestinian to death. There were riots to prevent those guys from facing consequences. What do you mean? Like, you can't play this game. It doesn't work. I still don't get his point when it comes to that clip. Hasan didn't say anything wrong. Well, in Ethan's mind, every time Hasan goes, I don't have a problem with them, even though he's speaking in the current modern context, he goes back to something they've done, 10, 20 years ago and goes, well, that's what he means, right? That'd be like if I said Ethan was in defense of the pro-rape riots in Israel, when he's not. I know he's not in defense of that. But these are not things that are even comparable. And when you do that, it's pointless. Yeah, the comments are turned off on all these videos, by the way. Yeah, do you like the Nakba? Yeah, exactly. No, that's not how any of this works. Okay, so this is 5 days ago. Oh, he left comments on this one.
Today's topic is Twitch's new update on hateful conduct policy.
This is when they changed the Twitch TOS, and he got to do some victory laps on it.
It's official. Twitch has said Zionism as a slur.
He fixed the lighting, though.
Is no longer allowed, people. You can't just call anyone a Zionist anymore.
This is obviously not true. It's not how it works. Can't use it as an insult, basically. If there's a racialized context, it's up to Twitch's discretion, but you can still say it. It's not a slur, but if you use it as an insult, Twitch may or may not find it an insult.
I have some pretty conflicting thoughts on this change. Let me read it to you, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Let's see here. Our hateful conduct policy is designed to protect our community from attacks based on a person's...
Yeah, I mean, there's more Zionist Republicans in like American politics than there are Jewish Zionists. So it is the equivalent in my mind of calling someone a Republican. It's like, oh, you're like an imperialist, expansionist, racist, segregationist. It's a catch-all term, and then obviously you're probably in defense of the state of Israel, right? So yeah, if you use it in that context, you're really fine because you're describing something. But if you like had a heated gamer moment and you called him like a stupid Z word and someone reported that clip, there's a chance you could be banned for that. It's bannable. That's how I look at it.
Protected characteristics such as race, nationality, religion, or sexuality. The policy prohibits harmful behavior, like suggesting that a victim of harm deserved it, or sharing a hateful image or symbol. An image of hate. I'm really curious. Hateful image or symbol. Does that include the Houthi flag that says a curse upon the Jews?
Yeah, you can't show it. You can't show the Houthi flag. It's like if you covered politics, they would still give you an exception for that because you're doing educational content. They would still absolutely give you a carve out. Sorry, not how it works. Hasan's an educational stream at the end of the day. You can really argue for showing a lot when it comes to politics. It's so dumb.
Because that is still up on Hasan's channel.
See, now he's talking about YouTube. He's talking about the Houthi flag, and he's talking about YouTube all of a sudden, even though this is a video about goddamn Twitch.
Image or symbol. Does that include the Houthi flag that says a curse upon the Jews? Because that is still up on Hasan's channel, just for the record. But maybe then it says Jews. It doesn't say Zionism. Maybe that's the new walk around. They're like, yeah, no, fuck it. I said Jews, not Zionist. The language used to cause harm and spread hate changes over time. So true. To ensure our policies adapt to those changes, we review them and how they're applied to prevent those harms. So admirable. As part of our hateful conduct policy, we prohibit the use of terms that may not be harmful or abusive in isolation, but can be used as a slur or to I'm having trouble with this word. Denigrate? Oh, denigrate. I thought it was, it almost made me say the N-word.
She's like Aiden Ross trying to read that one clip, and then he's about to say the N-word because he almost read denigrate. That's not even close, dude. Fascist. He used to say the N-word all the time, so maybe it was just muscle memory or something. He looks like a little Ethan Klein.
Benito Mazzulli and Giviante Gentile. And Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro?
Jason
Never heard of my fucking
Stanley.
life.
The resemblance is a little uncanny. It's like Interstellar.
I'm telling you, this denigrate word is dangerous. I almost said that, you guys. I would have been in violation of...
Dude, maybe edit the video. Edit that out. He doesn't want to edit these videos, I guess. He just wants to shoot them in one take.
This very thing I'm reading.
Leave all the dog barking in the background. Wife is fumbling around on the side. You're telling her you're almost saying the N-word. God.
Of course. But can be used as a slur or to denigrate others in certain contexts. In line with that approach, starting today, using...
Yeah, he's doing popcorn reading, but on Zoom at 2 a.m. with the lights on full blast in the basement. Maybe he's going crazy. Maybe put your office by a window so you could see the outside world.
The term Zionist
to rich
attack or
person
demean
brain
another
rot.
individual or group of people on the basis of their background or religious beliefs is against our rules. We recognize that Zionist and Zionism also refer to a political movement. Using the term to refer to the political movement, whether in a supportive or critical way, does not violate our hateful conduct policy. Our goal isn't to stifle conversation or criticism of an institution or ideology, but to prevent targeted hate.
The word denigrate is nowhere near the N-word, and the implications of the definition of that word subconsciously influencing the way he read it, I don't even want to get into. Who cares? We know he's not exactly anti-racist. Let's just put it that way.
Directed at individuals and groups of people. We include examples of the language we prohibit in our enforcement here.
It is divorced dad in his car vibes, but he's not even divorced in his car yet. Enjoy your life before you're divorced in your car.
We want to make sure that our hateful conduct policy continues to be flexible and yada, 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 yada. Here's my take. I'm pretty sure that there must be at least 20 VODs of Hassan's, of him
20?
using that word as a...
And he wants them to retro... He's immediately thinking how he can get Hassan banned. Why? Why are you like this? What is your problem? For God's sake, wake up. Wake up. 20 VODs, I think. Yeah. Yeah, man. Go through them all. Report them. So they can retroactively alter the rules to ban him forever. Hasn't Ethan always been this way? No. No, I don't think so. He maybe has always had underlying biases that affect the logic that he's using, like American exceptionalism, for example, that ebbs and flows in how much it affects his cognitive dissonance that he has to maintain. I don't know. It's a Pandora's box, this brain of his.
Yeah, okay, here's my issue. The Houthi videos,
what up,
of the propaganda videos of interviewing the terrorist kid, of the Houthis like storming this shipping boat.
Lying.
It's still up on Hassan's channel, and he has not been
Is that he's literally just talking about YouTube? Are you trying to get him banned on YouTube too? Okay, so he deletes the VOD, then what? I don't even know if he's talking about Twitch or YouTube. He's just saying his channel. They're not going to enforce the TOS retroactively before it was enforced. Why would they do that? That's so dumb. Just to make him happy, I guess. Yeah, he got hit with the John Fetterman gun. For real.
punished. Not even...
John Fetterman's not even Jewish, so it makes no sense for him. But like in Jewish American culture, there's a lot of indoctrination on the state of Israel and why it exists and justifying it by dehumanizing Palestinians and erasing their history.
Warned.
He can't show any evidence the Yemeni kid is a terrorist. He wasn't. Anyone who called Rashid a terrorist, again, straight up racist. Straight up, like, disgusting racism. I will never tolerate that. Never in my life. So foul. Because they wanted to believe that. And they looked for evidence and they didn't find any. They just didn't. And they still call him a terrorist anyway. It's just racism. You want it to be true so you can justify his dehumanization, and he's not even Palestinian. He's fucking Yemeni. He's not even a threat to Israeli sovereignty in the way that Palestinians are fear-mongered to be. He's just a fucking kid who's only known blockade, genocide, and famine. There's passive Zionism prominent among lots of American Jews. Yeah, for sure. You have to get pretty progressive in any community to find anti-Zionists. That's why it's so silly, this idea that Hasan's like a reactionary or something. Yeah, and Ethan is worried about people calling him the Z word when he calls every Arab or Muslim terrorist. Yeah, he infers it, he implies it, he straight up says terrorist, like people trying hardest to justify their hate. Absolutely. Yeah, don't use the short form for Zionist. I'm timing you out. Take 5 minutes. I have to enforce the rules. Sorry. You can't shorten it. That's what Nazis do. That's why this terms of service change, like you can't use Zionist as an insult, doesn't bother me that much. Because I think when you're talking about Zionism, and I try my best to be, but you have to be careful about how you structure your argument in the first place. As leftists, we have to be careful about how we talk about most things, because we're typically talking about really critical things, really important things. And making it clear with the way you speak about Palestine that you are on the side of liberation and social justice and revolution in a communal proletarian sense. You have to be very careful. You have to be very articulate about, like, you know, your problems with the state of Israel, the apartheid state. You know what I mean? I just think it's important to do that regardless, because like I said, Zionism is a political ideology. And when you're talking about politics, that's allowed. You're perfectly allowed to talk about politics on Twitter.
They threw like his little waiting room friends under the bus. But
Waiting
he's totally
room friends.
Fine
That's so
even though
mean.
this is really all about.
Also, how did he throw anyone under the bus? What is he talking about? Oh my God. Every time I unpause, I'm like, what? What are you saying?
Him. So they already don't enforce their policy, right? So that doesn't give me a lot of faith. But then the other thing is, so who's going to decide?
They don't enforce their policy. That was before the policy. He's talking about a VOD that existed before the policy, and because they didn't ban him retroactively, which they don't have to do, that means they don't enforce their policies, any of them. That means they don't care about anti-Semitism. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's unbanned by now.
Or if it's like a relevant label, right?
Has Hasan commented on this? Yeah, he made a pretty long video about it. A couple of them. Well, I don't know which ones are official or not.
Is it going to be the same people that are refusing?
He didn't know it was against the rules when the VODs are recorded. Yeah, and it wasn't. It wasn't against the rules when the VODs were recorded. They just changed the policy the day he recorded this video, and then he's like, there's 20 different streams, meaning 20 different entire days, 20 different entire 8+ hour streams, apparently, that he wants Hasan to get banned for retroactively. That would perma his channel. He just wants him gone. Like, that's so foul, so disgusting. And you're like grifting.
To punish Hasan for flying a Houthi flag that says,
yeah, punish him.
A curse upon the Jews. Well, he didn't fly it, but you guys know.
Oh, you know what I mean by that. No, that's bullshit. He played a song that was about resistance to Saudi genocide. You can't do that. I don't understand why Ethan wants to hurt him so badly. It's really petty. It's really, like, mean. I really dislike this fucking vindictive person that he's become. It's so gross. Someone that was his friend that he could really have all of these conversations with in private. Hasan could very articulately and eloquently explain his positions to Ethan. And if it's truly anti-Semitic, then Ethan should be able to say that with his fucking toes on the ground and his eyes meeting Hasan's. Look Hasan in the eye and tell him he's anti-Semitic if that's what you really fucking feel. But you don't think that. You're just fucking burying your head in the sand. It's bullshit. It's so gross.
You know what I mean? It's in the background of the videos he enjoys. What about,
what?
Hasan.
The Houthi flag is in the background of the videos he enjoys.
Raising up Hasan Nasrallah. He doesn't deserve me saying his name fully. He doesn't have that respect. He's fucking dead.
He looks really frail. He looks like he's been, and sounds like he's been sick. He's literally Aiden Ross, dude. Yeah, he was just in the background. He's Aiden Ross. He can't read. He can't speak. Harshan Narallah's, the hate is poisoning him. It really, it is not good for you to be this way. That's a fact. This is unhealthy. This is obsessive. And it's taking over his life. It's so unhealthy. It's concerning for anyone who cares about him. Not that I do, but it's true. It would be. I think it's funny that his policy change was just highlighted how the majority of people deeming Ethan a Zionist are being objective in their judgment. My argument has always been that Ethan Klein is a Zionist, and I'm not saying that as an insult. I think it is institutional to what he believes with regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict. He believes in a two-state solution, which requires some level of segregation and mass displacement of Palestinian people. You cannot have two states without Zionism. Zionism will maintain the ethnic, demographic majority that Israel wants in that one of two states. But Israel has made it very clear that they don't want to coexist alongside a Palestinian state. The West Bank has been occupied for half a century. They have made a two-state solution impossible, and I don't think it would have worked anyway. It didn't work. The two-state has failed. It has failed. Officially, it has failed. We are living in the remains of the two-state solution, and Israel is just doing as it pleases because it has been placated and appeased, much like Hitler's Germany, and continues to be. And we know how that ends.
Now he's Nasrallah. Nasrallah. So who's going to make that call, right? Is it Dan Clancy's going to be making that call? Who's qualified to make that? I know that everybody who works at Twitch.
Yeah, the Twitch trust and safety team and moderation teams, the dozens of people that work on Twitch's safety staff aren't qualified to ban people for anti-Semitism. I guess Ethan Klein has to do it. He has to take up the reins like Batman.
Twitch is like mega Hasan simps.
That's not even true.
We've seen the videos of Dan Clancy singing him happy birthday and forcing.
Yeah, yeah, because they won't absolutely betray him like you have, and like talk shit and lie and slander him means they're all in the pocket and they're simps. This is exactly how people talk about Pokimane, dude. How are you like this? But for Hasan.
Hasan's so pretty, he takes the woman place in people's minds. Where
True.
They have to be a hater because he's pretty.
Yeah.
They want to steal his youth.
No, that's for Jesus. He doesn't even know the talking points. He's just ignorant. Yeah, I mean, he's really fumbling through them. Also, Ethan had a pretty close working relationship with CEO Susan Wojcicki. Yeah, rest in peace.
So who's doing it? Who has
Why is the camera
wisdom?
angled like this on him?
This is the best any of these videos has looked.
Showing his fucking forehead and shit.
Yeah, he's been like
Come see
really
his
close to
fucking-
the dude. You should see the first one.
Go see his dandruff and shit.
He's like doing this crazy angle.
Yeah, he's coughing like a fucking shitty little white
here's an
dog.
officially-
I know. He's just, I don't know what he's trying to do with any of this. I really don't.
Like someone's grandma's dog when she's carrying around. He's doing that cough.
Yeah, sick old dog.
Crack the fuck out. It's just kind of rancid, and I feel bad for him. And I'm like, it's over,
It's
man.
sad.
It's over. How much do you have left of this?
What's your
of
quality
living
of
like
life?
this? Yeah, your quality of life is poor.
You don't even wag no more.
The people who are in policy, frankly, are clearly not capable of making that call. If it was like some Jewish advocacy group
He
that
sounds
was
sick.
involved in these decisions, then
His
I'd
voice sounds so hoarse. He should be resting.
He says he wants a Jewish advocacy group, but he's called Jewish Voice for Peace capos, as in Jews who worked with the Nazi government to rat out other Jews.
It needs to be like whatever he deems as acceptable personally.
Yeah, it's like who he wants.
He wants to be the arbiter, like the one who decides the things, but he doesn't have any power in any way, and like
Yeah, in a
any
way,
of that.
it's weirdly, not anymore, but it's like Elon Musk a couple months ago. Just like tweeting, like, we need to fix the government. We need to fix all this inefficiency. And then he starts hanging out with Trump a bunch. Except he's not getting any closer to power. He's just like sitting, basically tweeting.
Well, he's hanging out with the guy that has giant hate mobs at his disposal.
Yeah.
But as it stands, it seems to be a pretty hollow guarantee from Twitch trying to make these things smooth over. And
Really trying to make you shut up is what they're doing.
Trying to smooth some
I think
stuff
it's going to cause
over.
them a lot of trouble.
Smooth some
I
tape
think it's
over
insane.
people's
It's an
mouths.
insanely new policy because it's like the word Zionist is thrown around on Twitter.
I wish he
like,
would, though.
You know, every other word. Political streamers, right?
Yeah, Frogan might have a case against Ethan. Bad Empanada does, and we'll get to that point too.
So how the fuck are they going to actually sort through that and decide?
Class action.
And then they're going to get like massive tons of reports. I don't know how they're going to do it. I doubt that any...
Yeah, you don't know a lot of things, man. What are we doing? You're fretting about how Twitch is going to enforce its own policy. You don't go here, little bro. You are not on Twitch staff. You want a job? What's going on? You don't even stream on this damn platform. Shut up. This is so stupid.
I don't even doubt that they'll ever even enforce that rule one time. Not even one single time.
Yeah, prediction. No, they could definitely enforce it. There's scenarios that you could definitely enforce it. It's just whether or not those scenarios get like mass reported by your audience.
Yeah, empty, hollow. I mean, Hassan has been glazing up.
It's gonna be like his last word, bro. He's like
Now he's talking about Hassan glazing up Hassan Nasrallah again. Is that what he's gonna say?
talking about all this shit while he's so fucking sick.
This dude, Bad Empanada.
Oh, here we go.
If you guys know who that is.
He made a very good video about Destiny, and then all of a sudden, Ethan
is upset.
About it, about him. Yeah,
he's like actually psychotic, and
he is psychotic on
he's been making a lot
Twitter.
of hate videos about me and calling Ela a terrorist and baby killer and all this.
She called Ramallah a terrorist city. It's, you know, we're 1 for 1. We're even now. How's it feel, bitch? Really, though, think about that. He's like, he called my wife a terrorist. She called Ramallah a terrorist city. Said she arrested a terrorist when she did a raid there with the IDF. Like, what? She said it was fun.
They're not getting called anything they haven't called other people.
Exactly. How does it feel? Imagine if not only your wife was called a terrorist, but you were called a terrorist, and they kidnapped your wife about it. Took her to fucking mysterious black site prisons. That would fucking suck, wouldn't it? Like, what the? There's no fucking comparison here to your feelings. I'm sorry, but there isn't.
And Hassan's been enjoying his videos. Here's a tweet from him. You guys will enjoy this. It says, oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies and kids now? Where's the video evidence of it? I was looking to jerk off anyway.
This is a fake tweet, chat. This is not real. This is not a real tweet. Bad Empanada was banned on Twitter on the date this tweet has on it. It's literally provably fake. This is why I said he has a defamation case against Ethan, and I think he's enough of a freak to want to go into into litigation for years and years if he has to.
Some people got the smoke like that. I appreciate
He does,
that.
and I think he also has money in his family or something, or
Yeah, I heard
or he
that.
would crowdfund or something. He would do anything to win on principle. Is my read on him.
That's a real tweet. That's his son's guy.
So it's a real tweet. No, it's not.
Some Bad Empanada.
Guy who doesn't like check for any sources.
He doesn't.
I mean, his son did tweet out the blueprint for the gun used to assassinate the former Japanese prime minister.
Dude,
in response
it's a meme.
To a senator's tweet.
This is how the FBI responds when you post edgy shit and you have to like get looked at.
Guy who was definitely never edgy online, by the way. He said he would like blow up the Vatican or something. Like, he said awful things about, like, he said he would blow up the NRA, and that's why he's so insecure. He wants to undermine Hassan because he knows that Hassan is one of the only people who will tell him to his face the reality, and he wants him banned and he wants him deplatformed for it. He's such a baby, dude. Yeah, he wants Hassan to come out and say genocide is dope. I'm now deleting my channel, and I'm sorry. Personal apology video.
I mean, I guess I can see the overlap there. Zionists everywhere, anywhere, are combatants, actively spreading propaganda to enable a genocide. Their words kill. They must be stopped. So this guy thinks I'm like the epitome of a Zionist. And that Ela
That's
is
not true. I mean, come on. The epitome of a Zionist? You're a pussy Zionist. You're a Zionist, but you don't even want to say it with your chest. Like, no one thinks you're the epitome of a Zionist. We know what that looks like. It's Joe Biden. It's a corpse handing over cash to, murder babies directly over and over again while lying about where his red lines go.
literally killing babies on her free time for fun. He's literally saying right here to kill Jewish people. Because let's be real.
What? That's not what he's saying at all.
Who's splitting the hairs on that one?
What?
We can have a Twitch censor being like, no bad empanada. Don't.
He's a YouTuber. He doesn't stream on Twitch, dude. He's getting really confused.
Yeah, well, Ethan, he doesn't fall under the term Zionist as a political movement. It's just a slur when you say it to him. He's saying kill Jews everywhere. Okay, I love that.
That's not what he
Very
said.
cool.
Ew, it's not what he said at all.
This one's really good. Check this out. He says, just like Japan, a nuclear bomb is needed to stop Israel. Yeah, good idea. This one you guys are going to like. And I can really see why.
What he doesn't... Bad Empanada doesn't believe that a nuclear bomb was needed to stop Japan. He's being facetious, but Ethan thinks that a nuclear bomb was definitely needed to stop Japan, so he thought he was being serious. He thought that was a genuine advocacy to nuke Israel, and that wouldn't somehow kill Palestinians. What a moron, dude. You know who said nuke Israel unironically? Pretty sure Destiny, so whatever.
Islam likes him when I read this. 9/11 was an attack on a legitimate military target. Those within the towers were the soldiers of Western financial imperialism. And it was there that bureaucratic schemed and carried out operations to indebt other countries to steal the resources and bring them into ruin.
You're talking political and global philosophy when you're saying things like that. I don't think he's necessarily wrong in the grand scheme of things. What do you want? They hit the Pentagon too. That was definitely a valid target. It's almost like America blurs that line on purpose, and Israel does it even more so by doing forced conscription, meaning almost everybody that's, fighting age, male or female, is in the reserves and can be drafted. America kind of does that, but they blur the line between civilian and combatant and who's acceptable to kill on American soil for a reason. It is human shield doctrine, basically. It's a threat that if you kill civilians, we will do Iraq and Afghanistan to you. We will occupy and invade and regime change and puppeteer your government for a generation. We'll spend trillions to undermine your power and your people and sanction your country and blockade your ports and make sure your people starve and suffer and form reactionary terrorist cells within your country, and we will fund them to topple over your regime if you kill any civilians. What's a civilian in this context? I don't know. Director of the armed forces in the Pentagon with a desk job, is he a civilian or is he a combatant? I don't know. From within those walls, yada yada. And I mean, Hasan is the we deserve 9/11 guy. So I get it. I see why. I mean, he says he gets it. He gets it, chat. We did it, Reddit. He likes him. But the point is that even if Hasan somehow purges the word Zionist from his vocabulary, I still want him banned because he's gay. He sucks and he's gay, and we should ban him. Which I doubt. He's still promoting, backdooring people like Bad Empanada, who are genuinely sick, fucked up dudes, man. Just look into this guy, dude. I'm telling you, just Google his name. It's unbelievable what's going on here. Just Google his name. Ironically, Ethan Klein never Googled his name, or at least not to check if that tweet was real. He said all Israelis are valid targets. Yeah. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, if I'm being honest. Well, but this one really, this is what he looks like. Did he forget he already showed this picture? This is what he looks like. I don't like editing my videos, so I'm gonna do this instead. Charming guy. Oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies and kids now? Also, yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all are twinning here. That's a bad picture of Bad Empanada. Obviously, that's why he's using it. But you look right now like this picture. That is not what he looks like currently. So he's kind of flexing on you for that. Bad Empanada from this picture looks better. You look like that now. I can't believe he can show this and not even think, even in an insecure way, that he looks just like him. They look identical. They both look like the fucking Unabomber. Yeah, man, you're holding up a goddamn mirror. You left your selfie cam on and you're showing me a picture of yourself. God damn it. Yeah, he does look like Castro there. Charming guy. But, Ethan Klein's disheveled looking. This is exactly what he looks like. He looked the same to me. Oh, Hamas raped a bunch of babies and kids now? Where's the video evidence? I want to jerk off anyways. Dude, he just said the same 2 points twice. And one of them is a lie. That he never said that. That's funny. Made up and he believed it because he wanted to. Stuff, guys. And he's like dying just talking about it. So, in short, this is an insane video. Curious of how they're going to enforce it. It might be interesting just to see. Just threw in some slander for how they do no reason. I think it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be ineffectual. And I don't think it's even going to be enforced. So, well, maybe I'm wrong. But until then, don't you call me a Zionist on Twitch, I'll get you. I think I already did. Don't you be calling me a dirty Zionist pig dog. Well, see, you can't say those exact words. You would get banned for that. Inbred pig dog Zionist. You can say that, okay, because Hasan calls Jews inbred a lot. I don't know if you knew that. I've got a compilation going. You guys will see. I'm working on stuff all the time. Oh, he's working on stuff. In the basement, we're tinkering. Hey, Ducky, look at him. Who's saying this to him? He's looking at clips and watching them, I think, repeatedly. This is Ethan Klein, guys. You guys will see. In the basement. 5 days ago, giving you an I do for today. You guys like this format?
I'm gonna try to do these more often. It's just a one shot, one kill, bada bing, bada boom, straight upload.
Don't even edit it, man. Yeah, he doesn't even watch it back. I think that's also part of the he's not even watching these back, dude. He's recording it and just letting it fly. He's insane. He's an insane person, and he's lazy.
Today's video.
Here we go. We need to talk about Ludwig. Now that Twitch is all fixed, let's talk about a YouTube streamer who definitely will not face any repercussions. Anyway, he's gonna call him anti-Semitic immediately. Watch.
Video is about...
Dude, get away from the camera. Get away.
Ludwig,
stop.
Actually, who made a video called What is Happening to Twitch, in which he explains what is going on with the adpocalypse taking place on Twitch right now. In this video, he somehow didn't mention...
Ethan actually did say that, but Hasan was talking about the settlers that don't go to school and can't read and inflict terrorism in the West Bank. Yeah, absolutely. He's talking about it in very specific circumstances and talking about very specific people, not on the basis of their Jewishness, but on the basis of their reactionary, fascist, isolationist lifestyle. They're like hillbillies. Yeah, and he definitely didn't say Jews, no. Yeah, he's talking about people who are illegally occupying stolen land.
Hasan, Israel IP block, or anything. It's like he's so afraid of pissing off the...
Has Ethan mentioned the Israel IP block one time? We've watched all these videos back to back, and I cannot remember a time that he mentioned Israel's IP being blocked. The IP block isn't even real. It doesn't exist anymore. It was in place for like a year. How long is the spiral Ethan wants to go down, and what's the end point? I don't know. The end point is getting Hasan banned, but it won't happen. And he even says it won't happen. He never once talked about the IP block.
Cool kids that are not going to let him sit at their table anymore. The stakes are a little higher, in my opinion, because by misrepresenting what happened...
Yeah, the Vikings.
He doesn't help anyone. I mean, he helps Hasan. That's the only person he does, but he's sweeping this anti-Semitism issue.
Dude, how is Ludwig making a video about Twitch helping Hasan in any way? He didn't even talk about Hasan, and that's apparently a criticism too. You're not talking about Hasan, and you're helping him by not mentioning him at all.
Right under the rug, to the point where it's like, wow, you really don't care. You really do not care about this at all. So let's go ahead and watch a sliver of this mogul Mel and see what's going on with Ludwig.
Well, first, we have to talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asman got banned off of Twitch. Because you see, Asman got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people. Some very negative comments about Palestinian people. He got banned off of Twitch. And this...
Some very negative comments. Very negative comments. Very, very negative stuff. He said they deserve it. I mean, you don't even have to... That's word for word what he said. They deserve it. They have an inferior culture. Which is genuinely just saying words. Like, he doesn't know what inferior means, I don't think. He's so dumb. Like, I cannot believe someone so inept and, like, measurably stupid feels the need to speak on and cover politics regularly and make political videos. How are you so... Do you not look in the mirror? Do you not have, like, self-awareness of any kind?
Sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asman for saying this thing about Palestinian people, but, you know, what about this person saying...
like genocide apologia. Not even just genocide justification. I don't even know. It's like encouragement. That's to do with cockroaches in his room, yeah.
This thing about this people. And that...
What? This person saying this about these people? Did you just yada, yada, yada the whole anti-Semitism thing to protect your friend Hasan?
He was talking about Asmongold. What the hell? What the hell? What the L plus ratio? And you're not talking about Hasan. And you're protecting him. Dude, shut up, man. Get a job. What is this? Imagine owning a company and still not having a job.
How about having a Houthi militant on Twitch mainstream?
What? He never fucking did that. He's a liar, dude. He's fucking lying about that 19-year-old kid. What did I tell you? It's just goddamn racism. Called him a militant, dude. Everybody owns a gun in Yemen. They have the second highest gun ownership in the world. Second to, guess fucking what? The United States, dude. But you don't see a white guy with a gun as a terrorist, do you? Unless they're doing January 6th. Then all of a sudden, magically, they become like one of them Arabs. God damn, dude. Weasley little liar. You guys are right. It really is upsetting.
To talk about One Piece and to glaze up his fucking little Houthi cock.
Ew, dude. It's a fucking 19-year-old genocide survivor. What a fucking disgusting animal. I cannot believe this. He's genuinely just foul. And I feel like he only engages in this goddamn rhetoric so he can indulge this edgy fucking disgusting persona that he wants to be at the end of the day, that he feels right being, because he gets to be his fucking regressive, juvenile, middle school self without shame. Repulsive and a horrible fucking example as a father. Just disgusting, dude. Genuinely. I'll play it again. Called him a militant.
On Twitch mainstream to talk about One Piece and to glaze up his fucking little Houthi cock.
Why are you talking about a fucking 19-year-old kid like this? You are a fucking 39-year-old father. Disgusting. Edgy little dipshit.
With a flag flapping in the background that says a curse upon the Jews.
And he's pissed off about a flag. Fucking foul, disgusting piece of shit. It's dehumanization. What does he feel about the fucking Israeli rape prisons? This doesn't leave my mind, dude. Your wife fucking kidnapped someone from Ramallah. And the first thing you think about when you're looking at a militant is his cock. You foul fucking little demon, dude. Disgusting. I know what happens in those fucking prisons, dude. And I know he's fucking doesn't agree with it, but he has this fucking disgusting attitude. And it's dehumanization. It's racism. I cannot believe how transparent it is and how little pushback there is to this. He just gets to say this shit. Yeah, he's losing subscribers. Fucking not fast enough. But it is just horrid to even have this thought cross your mind when you're talking about something supposedly so serious. I just cannot.
Ludwig, why did you even bother to make this video? You know what I mean? You don't have to talk about it if you're too cowardly to explain it, really.
Because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with for years, which is inconsistency.
Yeah, it's almost like fetishization. It's disgusting. It's not funny. It's not a joke. He didn't even say it smiling like it was a joke. It's not. He's saying this out of like spite and rage, and all of a sudden it's about cock. Go to fucking therapy. It is genuinely like so disturbing with any context into the psychology of a man. I hate it. You are not hiding the disgusting person that you really are, and you should.
In their bans. All right, they have their code of conduct, their terms of service, whatever. They have to ban based off of that, and sometimes it's not upheld consistently. All right, and so this became, you can see October 16th, the day Asman got banned, a very common trend. All right, oh, you ban Asman. Well, what about when Frogan said this crazy thing about U.S. soldiers?
Frogan.
Right? And Twitch got basically controversy after controversy after controversy.
No mention of Hasan.
Dude, shut up. Hasan didn't get banned. Frogan did. Frogan was harassed and banned.
Or me, frankly.
Okay, well, that's what it's really about, I guess. Me? Yeah. He's not mentioning me. Yeah, maybe because you're an annoying, spiteful asshole, and he was trying to avoid talking about you so you wouldn't get, like, butthurt and make a video. But you did anyway, because he didn't mention you. Me. Little fucking twerp, dude.
Not to suck my own dick here, but...
You are so fucking closeted, man. Go to fucking therapy. It is not normal. It's not normal. It is not normal. When you're not even, like, having, like... Who is in the room with you? You're doing, like, locker room talk by yourself. What the fuck? I just don't understand. It's not funny. It's not a joke. He's not making jokes. He's just saying things that are gross. Is this funny to people? Just lol random? Is this really how far we're going?
3-hour episode dedicated.
He's deadpan.
Meticulous 14 pages.
He can't even laugh anymore. He's fucking, all the joy has left his soul.
Of meticulous thesising about why I thought Hasan was harboring anti-Semitism and all the various...
Like, you're talking about something supposedly so serious and so, like, important to you. And then you're intersplicing just talking about random cock. Like, it's not... It's Shane Dawson coded. You're so fucking right. Oh, my God, it's so Shane Dawson coded. Oh, my God!
He doesn't mention any of that. How can he not mention Hasan? You know, how?
And
how could he not mention Hasan? Dude, come on.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. This is serious.
Poor guy, dude. I feel so bad. He didn't get mentioned in Ludwig video. This is what happens every time I'm not mentioned in a Ludwig video too. I make a video about it and I cry. He didn't even mention Hasan or me.
And at first, this was maybe just some like social media stuff.
Like, it's hard to mention Ethan Klein in anything without acknowledging what a spiteful piece of shit he's being. Bro has an addiction to hate. I think that's what I mean. He gets to be this little middle school immature self because I think he can justify it in his own head.
There was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers, all right? Because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asman. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone.
That's, I think, somewhat true.
Well, okay, Asman was banned for what he said. What the fuck? They didn't ban Asman to placate leftists. They banned Asman because he said genocide apologia. What? What do you mean? He broke TOS, that's why he got banned. I hate you. I don't actually, but like, come on.
I think the underlining problem here is that they agree with the creators who they're not banning. Okay. They agree with Hasan and with Frogan, and it's an ideological decision. Like, it's not an unbiased decision to enforce the rules. This is them refusing to further other political point of views and identities that they agree with. It's downright corruption. It's horrific.
Downright corruption. Yeah, Asman was debating that cultures can be inherently inferior.
At work, they were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers now getting involved after the Asman ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed.
This obsession cannot be explained heterosexually. You might be right.
Prominently in sections that people viewed as like anti-Semitic and get them involved. Okay? He says, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuck, fuck, simp, loser shit. But that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating
cancel culture. Yeah, that's what happened. Asshole. He just admits it.
An adpocalypse.
He got banned anyway for extreme harassment and was proud of it. That's the kind of creep he is.
It's not an attempt to create an adpocalypse. It's an attempt to hold certain people accountable when the platform downright refuses to and runs ads on like incendiary, psychotic fucking content, right?
So they tried to appease advertisers and also the Anti-Defamation League, who's getting involved. And they banned several Arab streamers following a Habibi rating panel that was at TwitchCon. And
that's what they said about Gamergate, not to be dramatic. It's the same tactics as Gamergate, and it is the same justification. It's about ethics. They're always on the right side. They're actually the most woke. That's always how it is, because they're trying to justify its projection. Because if they say they're the wokest and the woke ones and the ones that are actually against anti-Semitism, it's harder for people to turn around and see that they're bigoted and racist themselves. And that what they're justifying is awful because they claim to be against racism when they're not. They just want their petty personal grievances met. And they'll just they'll drag on whatever social justice language they need to justify it. It's mental gymnastics. Defending the tiny chat guy is such a crazy unforced error. Yeah, but it just goes to show the kind of people that come crawling out from under the rocks and rubble of the ruin of their lives to come and try to like spitefully ruin other people's lives and spew like disgusting shit.
You can see the sponsors are in the background of this. This was going viral.
Don't forget, Ethan Klein was basically a Gamergator originally. Yeah, he was adjacent. He ran in those same circles. He didn't question nothing. He was just following orders.
I promise you, all of these sponsors got thousands of emails in their inbox after this. And it worked.
Yeah, they made bots to send the emails. So they definitely did. They definitely got thousands.
Of anti-Semitism is platformed on a main stage of TwitchCon in front of these sponsors.
Bro,
I mean, what the fuck do you expect, man? Don't blame the people.
He's talking about getting a lot of emails. They got banned for 30 days for nothing.
Sending emails. Blame fucking Dan Clancy and his team of morons.
What? What did Dan do? If the people banned were justifiably banned for anti-Semitism, why wouldn't you blame them? He doesn't want to say blame Frogan because it would give away the game that he actually just wants to harass these people.
Did nothing to shield their ecosystem from this, especially considering they had so much time to learn.
He played Twitch or terrorist and is still talking about this? Yeah. That's not Islamophobic though. But saying hummus is bad is pure anti-Semitism.
Incompetence. I was
Ew.
and others.
Dude, why? Is that a joke? Do you have the capacity for humor anymore? Or are you just this like bitter shell? I don't get it.
We're raising the siren about
What
this
the
event.
fuck?
And this segment, which I found offensive and anti-Semitic. And Twitch
Yeah, they insulted the Israeli hummus. And as we all know, that means you hate Jews.
did nothing for several days. Got worse and worse and worse. Once again, Asmongold got banned immediately, rightfully, duly. However, when it comes to Frogan and her friends shitting on Jewish people,
they got a full month.
Shitting on Zionists, right?
And yeah, one of the members of the panel is Jewish, but he just doesn't, he calls him anti-Semitic too. It doesn't matter, which many Jewish anti-Zionists do experience from like older members of their family. And it's really fucked up. And Ethan definitely knows that. He definitely knows he's not like giving them a unique kind of shame. And that's fucked up too, for like someone who's supposedly trying to be an ally to Jewish people or like stand up to anti-Semitism or whatever. He's literally dragging down Jewish anti-Zionists, calling them capos. That's genuinely anti-Semitic. It's fucked up.
They need a lot of time to think about it. And I think,
About
yeah,
what,
like when
dude?
the ADL got involved, that's only when they finally suspended Frogan and all the other people up on the stage.
He admits they already got suspended. What do you want then? What is it all about?
When a sitting congressman started writing letters, posting
Richie
on Twitter.
Torres, what a joke.
Then they said, okay, we should probably do something, but
So there's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hasan is blaming Asmongold for the adpocalypse for teaming up with people who.
Dude, what do you mean a piss match? Asmon openly admitted to doing this, said, I'm going to be attacking Twitch's advertisers until they change the terms of service, and Hasan is just fucking sitting there and he calls it a pissing match. That's just abjectly not true. Objectively false. Open your fucking eyes, dude. How are you so uninvolved in reporting on this shit? I hate fucking like weekly drama content. It always gets shit wrong. Pisses me off. Pay attention. Fucking wake up. God damn it. Just a guy sitting there doing his normal thing that he does every day, and he gets fucking roped into participating in an insane harassment campaign directed at him, acting like he's equally at fault or some shit.
Who he says, and Asmon is
looking at me.
It's just pathetic. It's cowardly. We know why he's doing this. Ludwig has a bigger vocabulary than that. You kind of sound like Ludwig. I'm the girl Ludwig.
Blaming me, I want to say you're welcome.
I'm woke Ludwig. I'm Ludwoke.
Playing himself. And probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess.
Okay, finally. Any kind of pushback to these weirdos.
Now,
well, why do you have to guess? You're the guy reporting on what happened, right? Why we guessing Ludwig? But certainly, Ludwig is making a lot of guesses in this video here. And I'm guessing that Hasan's cock must taste pretty good.
Stop. That's 3 on the cock meter. Cock tally. Go to therapy. 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 This was ridiculous too. He fucking quotes Jean-Paul Sartre, who was a goddamn revolutionary. He literally was allies with Latin American revolutionaries, and you're using his quote even though you would probably call him a terrorist. It's so disingenuous. Probably copy pasted it from Pinterest. What's funny is that he didn't attribute the quote because he knows whose quote this is. He had to look it up to copy paste it. He knows whose quote this is, and he left it out on purpose and then didn't put it in quotations as if he said it. He did the Michael Scott thing, but like more dishonestly. That's really disingenuous. So if you read this and don't know the quote, it will feel like he says something really profound when he's just, this is plagiarism. I'm sorry, but it is. If you don't know Jean-Paul Sartre, you don't, this is plagiarism. You wouldn't know.
He doesn't use baby wipes. He just calls Ludwig over. Where are we?
What? Ew, dude. Why is he so gross? Have people talked about him this way so long it has normalized it in his mind?
Anyway, Ludwig, you know.
Right back to being nasty.
Cheers and all that. Appreciate you.
Shane Dawson possessed him, came out, jumped out.
You don't have to make a video, right? Because at the end of the day, what does this do? It absolves the actual perpetrators of this adpocalypse. It moves the blame over to somebody who wasn't really involved. And by doing this, you ensure...
Who, Asman? He is involved. He directly targeted... What? He started participating in the mass email campaigns and the adding of like the ADL and shit. He did participate. He wasn't... What? He's just not even paying attention to the own drama that he's part of. I hope he's just not paying attention because he spends enough time with his kids. That's all I can hope for.
No real change is actually going to come to this platform, right? And this is just going to keep...
Well, the only change he really wants is to see Hasan banned. Everyone else got banned that he wanted to get banned other than Hasan. And I think he was really empowered when everyone on the Arabs panel was banned. And I felt like he thought he could get Hasan banned too. And when he didn't, he felt rejected. And now he's mad. Is he using notes for this deranged rant? No, I think he's just going off the cuff and not even looking back to watch it, to be honest. I genuinely, he's so disorganized and unaware of what he's saying. It strikes me as, he said it's just a one take, so he doesn't edit them. He's not even putting images or anything on. So he's editing clips in, but that's it. I don't know, maybe he is watching it. It just feels like he isn't watching it back before he posts it. Because he's not, like, it feels like he can't even keep track of what he's saying. Like, he didn't edit it to make more sense. You could edit these videos, like, out of order, take a lot of out, to at least make a point. But he's so meandery and so all over the place, I can't even keep track of what he's saying. I really hope he gets help, because he's genuinely not okay.
Happening because you are so cowardly.
I'm all for banning Hasan so that he gets a real job and face the harsh realities of living. Hasan's already like an educated, worldly person. I don't feel like experiencing the harsh realities of living would broaden his perspectives all that much, to be honest. Also because he's an empathetic person, and I think people with empathy who focus their energy around that empathy and their rhetoric around that empathy tend to just understand people from where they're coming from a lot better without necessarily having to experience the exact same thing.
You need so desperately to have the cool kid Hasan's approval that you are actually willing to throw a form. And frankly, if I'm going to be a little over the top, your Jewish community under the bus.
Oh my God.
As well. Without mentioning even a tiny bit the main issue of this, which is anti-Semitism perpetrated by Hasan and his lemmings,
He talked about the Twitch panel, talked about it. Hasan has never been banned for anti-Semitism and has never done anti-Semitism. He is becoming the Joker in a way. So basically, if I had one message to Ethan Klein, log off, spend some time with your wife and kids, maybe learn a craft or a hobby, learn how to watercolor, maybe do some journaling, and read back your journals, or watch your videos before you post them. Thank you for watching this video. I hope Ethan Klein gets the help that he needs, demonstrably. I don't think he should be making so many videos about his own friends. I think he could just talk to them and solve a lot of the problems that they have. But I think he doesn't want to listen, he just wants to talk. But we could chronicle it at the very least and be a stenographer for this madness. Do not harass him, leave him alone, let him burn out so he can figure his life out. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, you can subscribe. And you missed out live if you're watching this on YouTube. Twitch.tv/Peden is online, and you can watch it too.